Good evening. Welcome to TCH Live on this Thursday, December 16th, coming to the end of 2021 here. We got some 2-5 no limit hold'em from Texas Card House Austin. I'm William Lottie, aka the New York Knit, back with you for the next 4 hours or so. I think we've got a great lineup tonight. Should be an action-packed game. Just a moment here, we're going to get our first hand dealt out. Should be a $10 PLO bomb pot of the single board variety. See there are chatters filing in. I see Roger, Jedi Master Ted, David, Peter, Paul, Blaze. Great to see you all, as usual. Be sure and hit like if you haven't done so already as you file in here. That way, YouTube shows us to everyone else, and then lots of people watch TCH Live together, and hope we have a good chat together. Get these cards out here. Got to be careful with these cards. They get a little sticky sometimes, these somewhat thick stream cards. I see 2 cards. Are we doing a 2-card bomb pot? Let's find out. Nope. Here we go. He's just getting the pot right. Card number 3, card number 4. Well, there, Adrian. And here comes the flop. We got 90 bucks in the middle. Everybody puts $10 in. We go straight to the flop. Playing pot limit Omaha this hand. Jack 9-8 monotone. We've got Aaron, little typo there, with the top pair and the straight draw. Remember, in pot limit Omaha, you must play exactly 2 cards. And there's Tillman with the ace high flush. And aces just for good measure. He is going to pot it. Jaywin with the baby flush. The 4-2. See if he even puts any money in at all. He does not. With no room to improve. Like, he could easily be drawing dead, which he essentially is here. Over to Dave. Makes the fold. Johnny makes the fold with... No, he makes the call. He's got top set. So, of course, you're going to call there. And he is blocking a straight flush. Nobody else with anything. To the turn we go. Heads up. 7 of spades. Doesn't change anything. Tillman still holding the nut. The ace high flush. Almost the nuts. He does pot it again. Johnny's got top set. Does have 10 outs. Is going to just fold. Now, kind of a weird spot there. Obviously, you're hoping for the board to pair. Every once in a while, he's got the straight flush, but there's only one of those available holding the queen of diamonds. All right. So we'll get another hand going here. As we get started on this Thursday night. I know it's been a while since I've been back here. Hope you didn't miss me too much. I missed you guys. I miss talking with you like this. We are back together again. We got another hand coming out here. I see more of you joining us. Jeff making it 15 with the Queen Jack offsuit. We've got Not McAfee with a suited ace. Ace 3 of diamonds. Goes for the 3-bet. Josh with the 8s with the 8 of spades. Goes for the 4-bet. Makes it 125. Little tiny 4-bet. Does put some fear into that Queen Jack. Makes the fold. Not McAfee. Continuing here. We see 1 diamond, and we see a paired board, 9-9-7. Josh's 8's still good. Not McAfee with just a backdoor and an over. Josh going to continue here. Goes for 150. Around half pot. And not McAfee going to let those cards go. Graphics will show us the chip counts. Of course, we've just had a couple of hands, and Josh won one, Tillman won one. This is a match to stack game, so any of these players can match up to the biggest stack at any time. Initial max was 1,000. This game will escalate over the next 4 hours.
I don't know, I always get hot when I get really drunk and then people don't believe me. Yeah. And then you start laughing. I raised with 72 and I laughed once.
Johnny with some red sixes. Worthy of a raise, up to 20. Not McAfee, 9-7, the suited gapper. Makes it, or calls the 20 rather. Brian with the suited connector. Super dominated. Does make the call. Aaron with the suited ace is going to go for the squeeze. That ace-10 suited, he decides is worthy of a $150 3-bet. Nice sizing there. Johnny going to let it go, feeling he doesn't have the right odds to set mine. And I think the others will follow. And Aaron's aggression will take it down. Jesus Perez, thanks for that subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure and do that. Totally free to do. Just click that subscribe button on YouTube. You can find out every time we are on the air. TCH Live on at least 5 days a week. Mondays and Thursdays from here in Austin. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays from Dallas. And sometimes we throw you a bonus show on the other days. Looks like we got a straddle, the 2-5-10. Not McAfee going to limp those fours. Josh with a suited ace going to raise it up. Jeff cold calling the 50 with the queen jack off. Hand that's a little bit deceptive. Doesn't flop quite as well as you think. You really would rather be suited. But it's going to flop well enough here. He is going to have top pair, and it's going to be good at the moment. Josh does have a gut shot and the backdoor clubs. And he will continue. Makes it 100. About 2/3 pot. And I doubt Jeff is going to go anywhere with the top pair. Does just call. Like that, if you put in the raise, you're probably just getting action from a better hands, which Josh could certainly have. We go heads up to this turn. It's going to pair the 6. Jeff's still good. Check, check. 9 on the river. Jeff's going to be good if we get the showdown. See if he goes for some value. He just checks. Josh checks it back. Going to take that pot down. I see David Pratt in the chat. Sorry you lost on that little gamble game there. Tomatoes. Thanks for the sub. Tomatoes. Is that like 2 tomatoes? Is it like 1 mega tomato? Let me get my gamble on as well. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Over 100 of you have joined us here on TCH Live. If we all hit like, I bet we get at least 100 more. Probably more than 100 more. Ooh, I won. Kind of. Not McAfee limping again. The King 9 suited. Tillman with the better king, the King Queen. Makes it 20. Jeff going to come along with his ace. And not McAfee going to make the call. We go 3 ways to this flop. 9-5 deuce, not McAfee flopping the best of it. We check through. And Jeff gets there with the ace. Also has his gut shots at the wheel. We check through again. And now Jeff has 3 aces. Does not have a kicker, though.
That's why they adjusted it. I'm sure the math is probably pretty close.
But we do have a punter in seat 8. Going to call the 65. And going to get shown the goods.
You take shots at Fireball, I'll take shots of 1.5 ounce whiskey, and we'll just see who gets drunk first. Scientific method.
So yeah, we get a glimpse into an alternate reality where Pat McAfee ended up like grinding poker somewhere. Random live streams all over the country. If he hadn't punted past and kicked his way into the pros. We got another hand here. We see a limp immediately from that McAfee. Ace deuce suited. Josh limping with some dominated diamonds. Tillman's got diamonds, and he's going to raise them. You're going to go for this bluff. You probably want to go a bit bigger. These guys are not going to fold for that price. In fact, you're going to get a call from Dave with his suited king. And everyone's going to call. Welcome to Texas. 5 ways to a flop. Gotta love it. 6 in the window. And a couple of clubs. So Dave's got the club draw. Johnny's got a pair. Tillman has a worse pair. Not McAfee has the worst pair, the deuce. Tillman continues for 50, just the third pot. Gets the quick call from Dave, going nowhere with his club draw. We do see the better 6 got out of the way. Now Tillman picks up a gut shot. Check, check, to the river we go. And it's a club, the 8 of clubs. Dave with the second nuts now. Gonna go for some value. Goes for $150 worth of value. Tillman going to let go of the third pair, no kicker. David Pratt, yeah, McAfee did just sign some big deal with one of those gambling sites. You know what? Good for him. That's like quite the life spin up.
I only have 1 300.
Going from playing poker to make the money to get into a competition that you win, that you parlay into a football career, that you parlay into everything he does with the media. And now a mega deal for an endorsement. Hey, that's the dream, though.
Michael, where was that? Right next to Yellow Rose, stopped by the strip club. Oh. I don't like all of their stuff, but
We see Brian with the ace-9 offsuit, making it 30. Gets the 3-bet from Jay Wynn with the king-queen suited. And Johnny's got kings. I suspect we see a 4th bet. But my suspicion proves incorrect. He does just flat. Out of position, going to go for the trap here. Brian does call. 3 ways to the flop. King in the window. Something for everyone here. Brian's got top pair. Johnny's got middle set. Jay Wynn with middle pair and the nut heart draw. Jay Wynn going to continue here. See if Johnny decides to go for some protection in the form of a check raise. I would definitely check raise here. And he has done just that. Goes to 200, goes pretty small. Brian, top pair, lousy kicker, should probably be getting out of the way here. Looking at a bet and a raise. And he does wisely get out of there. Jay Wynn considering. Jay Wynn just flatting here. Stacked a pot. It's going to be a little bit less than, well, it's a lot less than 1. Johnny only has 550 behind, so it's about 2/3. Totally harmless 6 of spades there. I imagine Johnny just goes all in here. He does go all in. Jay Wynn looking to hit a heart that does not pair the board. Jay Wynn perhaps considering what he's beating. Johnny's bluffs here are going to be probably heart draws, but Jay Wynn blocks those. Like the ones that would call the 3-bet pre-flop, that would cold call a 3-bet. Jay Wynn's probably thinking he's in some trouble here. Like he's never drawing dead because he does have the nut heart draw. Johnny could easily have an ace. He could have an ace with a spade draw. Where Jay Wynn will be more live. Jay Wynn's still thinking about this. What do you guys do in the chat?
like even for guy closes,
You call if you're Jay Wynn? Do you fold if you're Jay Wynn?
fitting rooms over there. It's like, I need to try it on. I like it. I went. Why waste time?
You're just beating a bluff here.
I'm in enough at like
It is 2/3 pot though. Like he's getting like not good odds with the exact holding and the exact dead cards. He's thinking about this. This feels like a card funeral though. Especially once he picks the cards up. He's liking, oh, this is just so live. And yet so dead. He does let it go. I'd have let it go too. A lot of people were thinking fold. Usual suspect wants to call and run it twice. Well, I mean, Johnny would have to agree to that, is the downside there. Does make the fold, does not decide to start gambling it up this early. If you enjoyed that, be sure and hit that like button. I see 35 likes. We can do better than 35 likes. We get those likes, we get more viewers. We get more viewers, we have a better community. And we have Aaron with a suited ace. Makes it 25. Tillman not believing in the 9 triz. Jalen with the pocket pair.
Well, I laid down 2 hearts, so...
Just because I'm blocking some of the hand here.
Not McAfee with a couple of suited cards. Gonna let him go.
Okay, I'm not saying it was, but you may be skirting.
You can only lie to us for about 10 minutes.
You may be skirting the truth. That's my bother. I didn't like the hearts.
Well, I had 2, he had 2 apparently.
I'm glad I bet a little under.
Jack 4 deuce. Couple of hearts. Nobody with a heart. Those 5's still good.
I'd rather take the guaranteed win.
Aaron just checking it over now. Having totally whiffed. Jalen checks it back. 10 of diamonds now, so 2 flush draws available. Either player feeling great. Check, check. See if the river gives us any action. It's a 7. So those 5s will be good if it gets the showdown. And they go check, check. Jalen wins a small one. So we got a lot to discuss. It's been a while since I've been back here. How many of you saw the show last week? How many of you saw the highlight reel that we put out last weekend? We had Lex O here last week. That was a weird spot. He and I got into a hand where we both flopped trips in a bizarre limp pot. Check that out on the highlight reel. I believe it's something to the effect of like tilting poker hands. Came out probably Friday or Saturday of last week. That was quite the spot, and he had a lot to say on Instagram about that hand after the fact. Calls me a nit repeatedly, but you know, pot, meat kettle. Don't think I would have folded trips in that spot. Josh not folding. Josh is raising to 75 in this multi-straddle pot. Just gets it through. And so like the instigation there was Lex's own game. Like he had this game where everybody had to VPIP once per orbit, and they also had to straddle. So what I was doing to satisfy that VPIP requirement was I would limp under the gun any two cards. I would limp, like I just not even look at my cards, and so that's what happened. I limp my deuce, so like 10 deuce suited or something, as it turns out. And there was a million more limps. And then we get what Lex and I both believe to be a misclick from Brian, where he had jacks and he puts out a black chip without saying anything. That's a call. You put out an oversized chip without saying anything, that's a call. I'm sure he meant to raise with the jacks. But live poker, sometimes you screw that up. I'm guilty of that too. So the result is a 7-way limped pot where it's like 8 deuce deuce and there's 2 diamonds. And I've got a deuce, and Lex, as it turns out, has a better deuce. And then it goes like bet from Brian, raise by Lex, and then I just call, and we end up heads up to the turn, and then he folds to my half pot bet. I never expected a check fold from a deuce. We go 3 ways to this flop. Queen 9-9. Josh has a club draw. Everyone else has missed. Ace high is the best made hand at this moment for Johnny, but Josh with tons of outs. And Josh gonna make it 40, and it's gonna get the job done. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and he's gonna show those clubs. I'm thinking, like, okay, he could have a diamond draw. I'm extracting value. No, he had a better deuce, as it turns out. He called me a nit repeatedly. And that's fine. I'm the New York nit. I own up to it.
I missed being in the house and getting $100.
Sometimes I'm the Long Island wag, but oftentimes I'm the New York nit. But you know, that was a fun hand, and happy to battle with him anytime. Definitely check that out in the highlight reel, or you could just watch back that whole stream from last Thursday. That was a fun one. A lot better than the last time I sat at a table with Lex O, the infamous I hope you have aces hand versus J-Stack. I'm sure there's a highlight reel of that too somewhere. Jeff makes it 30 with the ace-10 offsuit. Josh flatting with the suited ace. Tillman flatting with the king-queen. J-Win closing the action. Is going to call it that 10-7 of spades. 10 is dominated. Spades are live, though. Jack 8-6, couple of hearts. So J-Win's got a gut shot. Josh has a middle pair, which is the best hands. Tillman with backdoors and overs. Josh makes it 80. J-Win going no further. Not sure what Jeff's considering here. Has back doors. Not beating a whole lot right now. He does fold, and correctly so. I see Squirrel in the chat. Hope you're doing great. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I wouldn't have folded if I was Lex. Like, That was a hand where I should have gone broke, but by some miracle I didn't. But yeah, I was totally supposed to go broke there. Which is exactly what I deserve for limping any two cards and having 10 deuce. I'm doing great, Squiroo. Thanks for asking. Gonna see Ace Jack again. This time for Dave. He does limp. We got the $10 straddle on. And Aaron has an ace and an ace. And bumps it up to 75 over the two limps from Dave and from Not McAfee. Ace Jack offsuit, early position. Got to let that go. Not McAfee fouls as well, not in a punting mood. Now, what else do we have to discuss? Okay, so I'm sure some of you in this chat saw the Formula One race this past Sunday, that finale. That was insane. I'm glad to see Verstappen win the championship, but I also think they need to make a lot of changes to the officiating. Everything from the first lap to the last lap, they bungled along the way. Dave with a better ace this time, an ace and a king. Makes it 50. Makes it 10x. Josh has 10s, and he does call. Problem with 10xing the big blind is that you're only going to get action from a good hand.
1 week I lost by. I think I lost by less than 2 points yet.
You may also get action from 5-4 suited.
Yeah, if I would have won that week, I would have done
Ace in the window. Had a 6 and a 5, so Jeff's got bottom pair and a backdoor straight draw. Dave top pair, top kicker. Josh seeing the one card on the flop he really, really didn't want to see. And we'll fold to Dave's $125 C-bet, as will Jeff. David Pratt says, what a race. Yeah, what a race is right. I agree with some of these older drivers, these retired drivers who said, if they just have gravel traps again, the track limits thing would not be a problem. Like, I mean, I can remember like 10, 20 years ago, Hamilton would have been beached on the first lap because that would not have been a paved runoff. Instead, he got to leave the track and gain an advantage and get off with it scot-free, in my opinion. They're not even consistent from one race to the next either, which is another set of problems. $30 raise from Brian. The ace-10. Tillman and Jaywin both calling with dominated hands. Dave with some 8s. We're going to take it 4 ways here. King 7-5. Dave's got effectively second pair, but Jaywin has the top pair, which will be better. Checks over to Jaywin. Goes for $40. Kind of small. But when you're multi-way, you're going to tend to go smaller usually. Dave wondering if he ever doesn't have a king or better.
That was one of the first ones that had.
Maybe a club draw. You can beat a club draw. And he does decide to call. We do see that there's only 1-8 that is still live.
I usually like first place get stuff.
Brian with the backdoor club is going to call as well.
Although the guy traded Justin out.
And he's going to get rewarded with an ace. Brian improves to the best hands. Brian now going to lead this turn. Makes it 150.
He's just lucky that the Bills actually have to play.
He can tell a somewhat credible story here.
Because if they had like
Any nut club draw that he may have flopped just made top pair.
I don't like that because a lot of
Jay went trying to decide whether he's just been out turns, which he decides he has been, or if perhaps there's a bluff, and Brian's going to show it. Like, hey, I hit the ace of clubs and I made top pair. Nathan Thomas wondering, where is Greg? Greg who? Greg from Dallas? Greg from Dallas is in Dallas. I'm in Austin, as are all of these players here. Dallas is on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. Austin on Mondays and Thursdays here on TCH Live. Be sure hit like, hit subscribe. Johnny, Jeff, and Dave, the biggest winners so far this evening, but the night is still very young.
they'll be playing. I mean, that's one reason I was okay with getting rid of Allen. If I would have.
And Brad telling us how NASCAR handles the leaving the track rules. Yeah, at least that's the one way that their officiating is better than F1's. I never thought I'd say NASCAR is better at officiating anything, but here we are.
Record without looking.
And Aaron has aces again. Brian's limp going to be punished immediately. Tillman going to call that king queen. Jeff's king is dominated. He's going to go for the squeeze. Oh no, he makes it 125. This is not going to end well for him, I don't think. See whether Aaron just flats or if he decides to go for the 4-bet, being out of position. If you do flat, the pot is going to be almost $300 at least. So, and stocks a pot of 4. You could get it all in across 2 streets, but he's going to go for the 4-bet.
It's very sweet.
And that should conclude things. I think that's 400. That is 400. I don't see Jeff hanging around here. You should not hang around here, I don't think. You're going to be dominated a lot, which is exactly the case here.
It's called Belfry Ranch. They've got a winery. They do mead and cider on site, and their mead, like if you stay there, like I know the owner. I was thinking of investing in it.
Jeff is thinking about it.
I got their shoe gun.
He's cutting out some chips. Are these calling chips?
It's what they drink in the Viking days. So what are they brewing it with? What's the main ingredient? Honey. Yeah, the sugars and the honey.
Are these 5-betting chips?
But when it comes out at cask strength,
He does go for the call. So we're going to have a little under a pot-sized bet left behind here as we go heads up to this flop. Jeff in all kinds of trouble with that king-jack offsuit.
license that a winery has, and
8-8-7, safe flop for AA Ron.
sell it at. I think if they get the correct license, they could bottle it and sell it to liquor stores. But at least
See if he decides to rip it here,
like an HEB.
How about this one?
What do they got?
or if he decides to do something trickier.
No, the guy is at least in the page. They just got HEB.
If Jeff has an overpair, which he could totally have an overpair, he'd have a hard time getting away from it. Aaron going small, just 200, which would be committing on future streets. Jeff is going to call. I'm also going to assume that these graphics are right. We don't have any kind of a problem here. The 7's going to pair, so Aaron now sitting with 3 pair. Aces and 8s and 7s.
Yeah, when I made that face, it wasn't that. It was just
How many random 8s or 7s does Jeff have? Probably not a lot. But in any case, it's half pot behind, so it's going to be getting in, and Aaron does move all in here. And Jeff's sitting with a king. His jack not even playing now.
But theirs comes out at like 30%, and it's still, yeah.
This feels like a card funeral, and he's going to try and save face by not insta-mucking.
I don't know that they got. It's on Valkyrie Ranch. Where is it?
Unless he's getting a count. I'm less and less convinced that Jeff has king jack.
I go out there very regularly.
I would
They've got
not be surprised if
pawns with stock.
one of those cards is actually paired with the other.
The kids love it because they're hitting every other cast. Best, like.
This feels like an overpair. Probably kings. Probably jacks, rather. I think kings would have called by now.
Just hang out, rent a cabin for a night, do anything.
Jacks would probably think about it further. I think kings would have called by now. We'll see.
No, they've got a ton of different types of.
To take this line with king jack offsuit would be completely insane.
B600. Yeah, they got little bees. We got wild hogs all over the place.
It would be a solid steamed Olapon of the night candidate.
If you just want to go cruise, I've got a John Deere Gator, so I'll pull that out there. And we're cruising around the trails, and if like they, it's like hey, pack your rifle. Yeah, pack your rifle. If you get it, just go ahead and shoot it. Leave it where it lies, because the other ones will eat it.
Were you AR?
Would be all of Jeff's chips to call here.
Yeah, but, I've got.
It's a half pot bet. What are you folding that you called flop with? It's a half pot bet. You don't have to be right that often.
When I go out there, I go with my AR. Sometimes, I'll bring my bow out there too, because it's just fun to shoot. So they got some wild turkeys too.
Bow hunter?
I grew up doing it, and I haven't actually got a license to get out and done it yet. When I was in Minnesota, South Dakota. Well, because the bow hunting season always opens earlier.
Well, and it's hunting.
He's counting out his chips. He is covered. If our graphics are
I
right.
still have a nice bow, and I more go out and target. Yeah, I've got shit in my yard. Get my
He's going to fold.
shoot bow.
We'll never know what he had.
I'll see it.
I will see it very
Pull
soon.
it back.
I did not buy the line at all. I mean, I
Overshot my
tried.
target, they went high
And I was
and
so
launched
close
it in
to
the
jumping
tree.
it.
And we couldn't get it
Oh,
out.
that's impossible.
So I've called it
Am I gonna
like
be able to
X
go that
caliber
smile?
I mean,
Whoever gets it out.
don't know what he actually had.
can remove this arrow from the tree. They will be there.
Would he have actually had king jack there? That would be crazy.
Make it black and everything.
Is it broadheads or you have a field point?
What he's saying
Yeah,
is
I'm not it was
before that
it's just
with approximately queen jack or jack jack.
yeah, you don't shoot any kind of
Probably
broadhead.
have to do it, right? Before you can be able to throw it.
A pocket pair counterfeit.
Unscrew it from the field.
Did you?
Small black.
We will find out.
But yeah, like broadheads, like actual game heads.
Trying to let you all hear the table audio here.
It's hard to pull out.
AWK, thanks for the sub.
I was literally
you have pocket aces? Fuck, I should have played that game.
You have a 7 or 8?
See some more F1 conversation. I'll have more to say after this hand.
I just.
It's not hard to should not have played a 4.
Brian makes it 30 with a mystery hand. Tillman with ace queen suited is going to make
That's
it
why
more.
I didn't play it. Because I know I'm not supposed
If you could
Makes it
somehow
80.
forecast the future, you should play it.
If you go forecast the future, you should not be on this table. Even higher, we can find more lucrative measures.
C5 is adding on 500.
What if it's
I've always thought about that
What
movie.
if it's 5'10"?
Hell no, we're getting bigger here.
Bunch of folds.
I've always thought about that movie with Nicolas Cage. I could see like 10 seconds ahead into the future and be like, he'd make the best poker player ever.
Brian with the 10-8 suited.
Stop taking all that shit.
He would make the best.
At least everything's live for him.
Never takes more than 2 seconds to act.
I did over 1/8 when he called.
Ace queen 4. Top 2 for Tillman. Nothing doing for Brian.
What made Aaron so mad for me being in it would brought me so much joy.
Oh, yeah.
Does he disparage you on the street?
Tillman gonna continue for more than twice the pot.
No, he said I am.
Gets the obvious folds.
I like to show off for some reason. I don't know how I do that.
No, you like the.
Yeah, so, I mean, the way I see it with that late crash by Latifi, I think that if you're following precedent, you have to red flag the race.
One time.
I say that because at Azerbaijan, when Verstappen had lost his tire and crashed, they had red flagged it then.
Who doesn't like to beat people dumb?
Where, like I know there was the chatter about, we'll give people a chance to change their tires, but if you don't red flag that race, it probably would have just finished under safety car. Like if Red Bull would have just not said anything to race control, they probably just finished under safety car that day. So I think if you red flag that one, you got to red flag Abu Dhabi, but that's not what happened. Again, glad that the result was the result, but I also like consistent officiating and not arbitrary officiating. But yeah, if you want the show, that one lap shootout will do it. And I feel like in that regard, they're taking the things I like least about NASCAR and adopting those. And we see Not McAfee with the ace king, moves all in over the limp, and I think Josh is going to give him some action here with his dominated ace. Not McAfee certainly capable of punting, but no punt here. He's got it. Derek going to give us a count. And I believe Josh has called. Just under 200.
I want to get me some Seth dollars.
And we're going to go heads up to a run out here. See how many times we run it.
We're gonna run it twice.
Going to go twice.
2 times. And I'm not even suited.
Ready to show himself. I'm not either. That's it.
I need a jack ball. That's a jack ball.
Hey, anybody want side action? I'll go with that.
Josh calling for
my
the jack.
ball got wasted.
I see a king, I think.
Jack ball.
We don't have it scanned yet. The dealer has placed the cards above where the scanner is and is now going to bring it below the scanner. Ooh, Josh wasted one of his outs there. The king and the jack both flopping on the first board.
Jack, but not another king.
When the king came out, I said, does anybody want side action? I'll go with that.
Okay, so once it's good, move the whole board.
Alright, second board.
The whole.
I'll give you 2 to 1.
You gotta move the whole board.
I'll give you 3 to 1.
Because the scanner's
I'll go
right
with,
there, right
Seth.
above the logo.
You only take a win?
So that's good.
Find me a jack ball.
Okay.
No, only second
Here
board.
comes board number 2.
3 to 1, 5 to 1, 5 to 1. Anybody? And it chops the loose for you. So that's a pretty good deal. Alright.
So far, so good for Not McAfee. Still good.
Here comes the jack. The jack.
And a king just for good measure. So we are going to get the full double up for Not McAfee.
Oh, I assumed you had a jag. Yeah, well, you're
What happened to the product of West Virginia decides to go the poker route? Here we see it.
You would
also give him 3 to 1. You got me off of AC and a heart. Yeah, exactly. That's good.
Yeah, I think IndyCar would have red flagged that race as well for the show.
If I had more, I would have.
And you got all
What they do for the debris, to answer Squirrel's question, depends on where they are and what the debris is. Like, if you're on an oval, you can't mess around with that stuff.
Size, my raising size. I didn't have an.
I was hoping it was a Midland
On a road course, depends on whether you're on the racing line.
All right, everybody. We have a straddle for 10 and restraddle.
Looks like we're going to have 2 straddles.
You got another 15 minutes? You on the table with us? That's the best. You're almost back. Now, if David would have called,
Double up. Oh, man.
good job, buddy. Jeff has a vendetta against me.
What did I do? I haven't done anything.
I don't know.
Oh, I can't.
He just needles me constantly.
Have you seen Seth Buck? Of course I'm gonna look him up with Jack High.
I'm a very bad player, I know.
Of course I'm gonna go all in. Calls all in with ace jack. I didn't.
We see both players in the straddle with ace-6.
200.
You could have.
Tillman is suited, Aaron is not.
Josh didn't even see the ace. He saw the Jack. instead.
Aaron made it 85, which is 4.5 times the
Oh, hey, the ace is even better. You got jack high.
4.5 times that last straddle. Does have the betting lead on this King Jack 4 flop. We do see that Tillman slightly free rolling with his backdoor clubs. And Tillman going nowhere against Aaron's $50 C bet. Heads up to the turn. We'll see if Aaron continues firing. They both have a gut shot now
Shuttle your chair.
on his 10 of hearts turn.
Because like at the lodge.
We'll chop if it gets the showdown.
Like, he's got one that's just like back
Check, check.
in the spare room at the lodge where you can just pull out whenever he's on the
And there's a queen. They both have the nuts. I suspect that they're going to go all in, and then they're going to chop up like $7 or whatever the other blinds were.
Just like sends it to plays, be like, here, have a chair on me, but I get to use it when I'm there.
Did he take it with him when he led that big game in Dallas?
Yeah.
He probably mailed it ahead.
225 for Aaron. Tillman just calling.
There's a stream here. He shipped it all in on me. I made a great call. But then he hit a gutter. He hit a gutter ball to the wheel. He ships it all in, nothing but a gutter. And hits that gutter.
So we chop this pot up. Aaron with the extra dollar, having been in the earlier position. That is how you award the odd chip in a split pot or a chops pot situation. Look at these V-pips. The lowest one's 22%. Highest is 44%. Not that we played a ton of hands, but they are comfortably above that 15%, which we all know what that is. Hashtag Lottie line. Almost 300 of you with us. Thanks for being here. Hit like, hit subscribe. Chat's a lot more fun when we have a bigger community. Let's make that happen. Jalen just folding the 4s may seem tight to some of you, but from a GTO standpoint, you could justify that. Doesn't flop well. Like, you'll never flop an overpair, and you could certainly get set over set.
Yeah, all of them. Sorry, Jimmy. For sure. You're not making that. Either is that
Go to this flop 3 ways with some very ragged holdings. 7-5-4. Josh has top pair. Aaron has middle pair. Tillman's got a gutter. Aaron fires out 15, gets 2 calls. Jack on the turn will not change much.
He's got to play every hand.
I mean, I like the idea of from your birthday game.
Checks over to Josh now.
Birthday game where everyone was way
We'll
above.
fire out with that second pair.
Where you feel like you just make that a normal.
Tillman gonna pursue that straight. And we'll get top pair for his treble. Tillman rivering the best of it with a pair of kings. Check, check, and now Tillman gonna show that he got there. Got a new poll live in the chat. Can you hit 300 likes by the end of the stream? I say, hell yeah.
I'll do the same thing though. I just didn't want to do the part.
Quite the river.
Once I start. I had a good start, man. You're sitting way too close to me. I
On
don't wanna
top
send a
pair.
long message.
You had the six? No, that's open end.
You're like, you had nothing.
Brad, I would disagree that Texas has been a good race lately, whether it's been IndyCar or NASCAR. Like, they managed to ruin it when they put all that goop on the top of the track. Totally killed it for IndyCar. NASCAR's not much better. It's like, I used to have season tickets to Texas. Used to. Put it that way. But your mileage may vary.
Oh, I get it now. As I was leaving my neighborhood today,
Texas Motor Speedway, about 2.5, 3 hours up the road from here in Fort Worth.
like vultures, like fighting
As
over
I sit
it,
here in
dragging it around
Austin.
the yard. Yeah, I know. It's
Dave with a suited ace, just limping that ace 10. Johnny with some red jacks. He's going to do a little bit more than raise. He will make it 40. Not McAfee just getting out of there with ace jack offsuit, very wisely so. Brian going to come along. Aaron going to try and go duck hunting here. Jalen with the queen eight of diamonds, gonna take it. Let's see, I see one diamond, I see two diamonds. And there's a king, which doesn't help anybody, but we do see Dave with the nut diamonds, Jalen with a lesser diamond draw. Jack's still good for Johnny at the moment, but not anymore. Aaron's going to turn a set. And it's Aaron going to lead out on this turn with the turn set. Goes 125, a little over half pot. Very unusual to be getting to the turn 5 ways, but here we are. Jalen just going to call. We see, what does Dave do with his nut diamonds? He folds. No way. Johnny folding the jacks, thinking that with the bet and the call, second pair is not going to be good. Brian with the actual second pair, also folding. So Jalen going to try and hit a diamond. Not too many of those left. Does not get there. Aaron will be best with his set. Aaron considering what sizing will get value, probably from a king. We know a diamond draw is not going to pay him. Diamonds did not get there. Aaron going to polarize here. Going to say nuts or nothing. He makes it 550, which is an overbet. Jalen with the queen high can't do anything about that.
and the 3-9 both red.
Anybody want to give me 5 to 1 on my money? Set of 6. I will. Yeah, 5 to 1.
And the 2017 IndyCar race at Texas was great. I'll agree about that, but since then it's been garbage, unfortunately. Again, not their fault, but yeah, that's the deal. Squirroo discussing Anakinda yellow flagging a race
Like as I was flipping them,
down
like,
his way
hearts,
not that long ago. Yeah, I could see that happening. I feel like we've seen some wildlife plus yellow flags up here before. Like Road America could actually get kind of scary. There's been deer over there sometimes. Like one time there was someone who hit a deer in a testing session, which did not go well.
I really wanted to like turn my cards over in reverse order because I saw the 3 of hearts and then I peeled and saw the 9 before I could. I saw it was a red 9 and then it was a diamond. Oh.
Josh will be the first player in, makes it 50 with that 8-6 of diamonds. Brian with the suited ace-5 comes along on the cutoff. Jalen with the suited connector. Might he be considering a squeeze? I probably just flat it here and keep it multi-way with good implied odds. And he does exactly that. And Jeff not believing in the 9 triz. So we go 3 ways to this flat.
The big black dude? Yeah. It was a while ago, a year ago, right? Or early in the year?
I see diamonds again.
A couple months ago.
I see another diamonds again.
Yeah, you didn't read this. I mean, I remember playing with him in the Marriott.
So Jay Wynn with a gut shot. He and Josh both having diamonds. Jay Wynn has the better diamonds. Brian with just an over and back doors. Josh continues for 100. Brian calling pretty light.
Oh, I went on a deep dive. I learned a lot about him after. You did? Yeah, because I went on.
It's like he looked like to have all that
Found
money.
a lot of
Bigger
stuff.
guy. I was like, I'm thinking football players.
Kept telling her to call him daddy when you were playing.
Jay Wynn not going anywhere either with his combo draw.
Must do it like I used to play here, kill himself.
And Jay Wynn will get rewarded with the 10 high flush. Does also have the straight flush redraw. This could get expensive for Josh. Brian does have a gut shot, which he probably doesn't feel great about.
And so before that, he
Josh going to go all in for about 1.5 times pot. Brian will fold, and Jay Wynn will snap.
I have the flush.
Getty cooler of the night right here.
I forgot it out. That side.
Oh no, you're.
Jay Wynn has a flush. Josh has the next best flush possible. Draw is dead, and Jay Wynn will collect the pot. Our biggest pot so far this evening here on TCH Live.
I was playing.
Yeah, Pride, I thought it was D'Amato. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that would not be pretty for either party.
Yeah. I figured you'd have
claimed they were cheating.
maybe
After he claimed they were cheating,
Really don't want to be hitting anything driving a single-seater.
the flush draw. Who's gonna confront him? Right? Does he have it covered?
but he robbed that home game. at Dublin.
Flush over flush. Mine was 8 high just under you.
Went to TCH Dallas to play. Saw one of the guys from the home game walking towards the entrance and stabbed him in the neck.
Same guy.
So he finally gets some action. We just had to
He had a
be patient.
Live stream.
one out. He knew he was probably going. My hypothesis. He knew he was going to go back.
Sounds like we will get a reload
And
from Josh.
he never wanted any man to be with that woman. So instead of spending his life in jail,
Chips on live.
you know, take her out and kill somebody. If I had to make a hypothesis, if I was a betting man, that's what.
Eka5 C Remark says this live is better than the other poker live streams. I'm glad you think so. Glad you're enjoying the show. Thanks for being here.
One of the managers that said he definitely had like skeletons.
Simba, I see you in that chat.
Yeah, I played with
Just getting back to your question. Who's my favorite poker pro? That's a tough question.
That's where he stabbed.
That's a really tough question. I'll just go the total Long Island's bias route and say Jason Somerville. Not that he's been all that active in recent years, but really great guy. I've met him. And poker's a lot better for having him in the game. So, yeah, that's what I'll say. Just blatant, active hometown bias. Sorry for the little video hiccup there. Josh not believing in the 9 triz. Tillman is believing in the King 10 suited on the button. Makes it 20. Jaywin going to 3-bet that Ace-6 suited. I like the 3-bet. I really like that. You push out the big blinds. That Ace-6 is not a good ace. Like, that's the worst ace. Ace-5 can at least make a straight. Someone going to call in position. That's the other thing. You would really love it if the guy who has position on you just folds. And raising gives you the chance to do that. Goes check, check. No C-bet from Jaywin. But who needs a C-bet when you're going to turn top pair? And someone going to bet, and now Jaywin could certainly call here. Perhaps Jaywin considering a raise. Is he going to fold top pair? He's going to fold top pair. He's going to just check fold it. Perhaps considering that he could be drawing dead if Tillman's got clubs, but also there are a ton of rivers where he's not going to like it. Like a straightening card is not going to be good. A club is really not going to be good.
No, 9-3, 3 of hearts, 9 of diamonds. I showed them both, like halfway there. I would have flopped you pair there too. I think I got behind on the turn.
Other T7, I'm not begging for likes. I'm just politely asking for likes. Please press the like button if you enjoy this program. Hopefully that's not construed as begging. Pratt thinks that that was a opponent-specific fold there. You see another 9 triz fold. Aaron going for the wide open. 6-5 offsuit decides to go for $20. Tillman going to defend with the dominating Ace-6. Oh, Ace-6-6. Tillman flops a boat. Aaron flops trips. Aaron drawing dead. And is going to incinerate $35 to start with. Just flat him, Tillman. Just flat him. There you go. Tillman just flaps. There's flats. There's 0 turns he's afraid of. 9 of clubs. Aaron's still drawing dead. He has trips. He has no kicker. And he has an opponent who can so easily have top pair. And Aaron goes 110. He goes full pot. Tillman considering his options, whether he's going to call, whether he's going to raise.
My brother had
know
no
about
and I did.
how humanity's gonna.
We started accumulating stuff like years ago.
We're not producing.
Someone just calling, giving Aaron every chance to
We got it
bet with what is an inferior hand there.
I bought more during COVID.
He's speaking. I'm pretty sure he's speaking to a room full of CEOs, and he said the whole CEO title is a bunch of bullshit.
And transferred it in all two stocks.
And the interviewer said.
And it's going to be a bet of 350 from Aaron. Tillman's got 1,000 behind. He goes all in, and Aaron snaps, and the look on Aaron's face says it all. I believe this is our Yeti cooler of the night. Someone going to put out his stack. Derek going to count it, and Aaron going to ship it over. So, yeah, with that, the stack to pot, all in's the only raise that makes sense for Tillman on the river. And he played that just right, just gave Aaron no reasons to become concerned. And stack to pot was small enough that he could just get it in. And as people in the chat are pointing out, like, this is the problem with the 6-5 offsuit. If you get this much action, you're usually going to be behind.
But all their first like 5 years of production.
It is starting to slow down. You said that I saw a documentary.
Roger, glad you're enjoying this show. Glad you're enjoying it, Squiroo. But going back to that hand before, Pratt saying that it's probably a player-specific fold. Yeah, like that's the only way like that I could fold the top pair there, the way that the hand played out. But if I'm going to fold the top pair after flop checks, and then I check turn as the 3-better, I should probably just fold the ace-6 pre-flop. At least that's my opinion. Raphael suggests that maybe this river could have been a bet fold for Aaron. Yeah, bet fold's a possibility. You could also consider a check call. Give Tillman the chance to like bluff or overvalue or something. Glad to see so many people here enjoying this show. And it's going to be a mic drop moment for our dealer, Derek. Going to step out. We're going to get a new dealer in here, which means we're going to get a $10 single board PLO bomb pot. Here on TCH Live, William Waddy, the New York Knit, with you this evening. We got Angel pressing the buttons, and not sure who's just pushed in. We're going to know in a moment. Can't tell from this angle. Jack wondering, how does one make 10 points for this silly little gamble game? I think every time you chat, like 10 minutes apart, you get a point. And you may or may not get a point every 10 minutes when you watch. I think that functionality is kind of broken, and it has been the whole time. Also, if you send us a super chat or a super sticker, you get some amount of points. And if anybody does choose to make a monetary contribution in the super chat, that is greatly appreciated, but by no means necessary. We do have some great people working on the show, and I do like to see them rewarded for their contributions. Get these cards dealt out. Pot limit Omaha, you get 4 cards. You play exactly 2 of them at Showdown. 3 on the board, 2 in your hands. So if you have 4 aces in your hands, you don't have quads. And if there's 4 aces on the board, you don't have quads. And the flop will be misread by the scanner. I saw an 8. The scanner seems to have scanned King 5 deuce, but I see an 8 there. I think it may have scanned the burn card inadvertently. I saw an 8 and a deuce. Those are the cards I can be sure of. I don't know if there's a king there. That may be a king. Yeah, king, 8, deuce. And then the king's going to pair hearts and clubs both available. Johnny with kings full of deuces. After flop checks through, I imagine he is going to go for some value here, holding second boat, losing only to king 8, and there is only 1 8 left available. Or 1 king, rather. There's 2 8s. There's 1 king. I can count.
With the king.
Is going to get that bet through.
Baby flush draw against
That
the
pot
board
size
pair.
bet. As far as the seating goes, people wondering if there's a player missing or something. So this table has 10 scanners. We normally play 9-handed here. So 9 seats will be occupied. You'll see 10 scanners. Sometimes the graphics will reference like a seat 10. It's because that's scanner number 10. If it looks like there's any kind of crowding, like what we will do is have the players sit in certain positions just so that the camera shot looks the best on their seat. So it gets a little bit lopsided 9-handed with 10 scanners just because of the way the cameras are set up. And
Back door.
we're going to get the graphics fixed. We are not playing PLO. We are playing Hold'em.
Pair with the back door.
You see that's Matt in the box.
The lodge.
Not McAfee is going to limp. Aaron going to make it 40 with that ace-10 suited. Tillman with the suited king. Going to call the 40.
I wouldn't want him to yell in my ear.
Dave with the king-jack offsuit. We've seen what he can do with his hands before. It's just going to call this time. Not going to go for the 3-bet. Not McAfee with his suited connector. Go 4 ways to this flop. Jack 3 deuce, couple of clubs. Dave's got top pair this time. Aaron with the nut club draw. Not McAfee with a gut shot. And he's going to let that go. To Dave's $75 continuation bet.
I got pocket kings flop a set. I ship it all.
Aaron
Someone else
considering call or raise. He is going to go the aggressive route and is going to make it 250, which will clear Tillman out of there with his air ball.
thing is when you're
Banned from the lodge for flying a drone inside of the lodge. That should tell you all you
Dave with his top pair probably can't go anywhere yet.
like. That should tell you literally all you need.
He says Doma a lot too. He says Doma a lot too.
But with the aggression, Aaron could certainly put a lot of pressure on
you know
top pair, not great kicker by the river.
but
Aaron will add a gut shot to his tools. We do see that not McAfee would have gotten there.
reverts to like it's like
Bummer to make the right fold at the wrong time.
that's not the way you
Would over pot left behind effective with Dave having 770. There being 665 in the middle. Aaron considering his sizing. The graphics don't have Dave checking yet, actually. Dave leads all in. Aaron's going to call.
club draw.
And going to get a deuce on the river, and they're going to just run it once. So Dave going to get the full double up from Aaron. Phil Yisick, thanks for subscribing. Welcome aboard TCH Live. So glad to have you here. So glad to have all 291 of you watching live right now. the 126 of you who have hit like so far, and any of you who may be watching this in the archives at some later date. Thanks for checking us out. Hopefully you enjoy this show. Hopefully you like this show. We certainly like putting it on for you guys. And you ladies as well.
Chase with a small stick.
All of you individuals enjoying some poker on a Thursday night.
Right, it'd be open-ended would be different.
Matt's going to get us another hand.
You should be like Josh. Just bring the computer.
Ironbite wondering if Aaron's tilting. I'm not sure.
Have a little card in each hand.
That call was a bit light, given the odds he was getting. Like, if you figure you have to hit a club,
I make a lot of money.
like you're facing an overpot bet, like you have to be right more than a third of the time with just one card to come. Like, the one thing I can say in defense of that call, though, you are beating another club draw. Like, if he's got, like, some middling clubs with no pair, well, you are beating that with your ace high.
Always thinking on his phone answering emails.
As well as any other time, Dave just feels like incinerating some chips. Like we saw the hands where he apparently had King Jack against aces earlier this evening.
I had 3 hearts, 9 of diamonds twice. That's the 2 hands.
Ryan makes it 30 with the King 10 suited. Dave just smooth calling the ace queen off on the button.
9-3.
Not McAfee with a dominated ace. Calling, as will Josh in the straddle with his King 8 offsuit. Jack 8-5, couple of diamonds. Josh has an 8. Josh has the best hands at the moment.
Battery life, mediocre. Check, I'll check. But everything else about it I like.
And everybody checks. We get the brickiest turn ever, the deuce of clubs. Changes absolutely nothing. Not McAfee gonna fire out $50 with that third pair.
Well, now.
Gets a call from Josh, who will have the best hand at showdown on his Queen River. Not McAfee giving up now. Josh gonna turn it over.
I probably would have gotten on.
Another bet could have actually maybe made an 8 fold.
That's why I said that.
Pratt doesn't think Aaron's capable of tilting. He'll just walk first. And Aaron's usually pretty good, in my experience, about just stepping away rather than just torching a ton of money. And that's a really important skill to have if you're going to be successful in this game. The ability to not compound decisions that maybe didn't go your way.
Did you not sleep at all?
No, it's somewhere around like 10. Like 9 or 10.
Was this when you were the CEO after you left Penguin?
No, this is, I got that job after.
Okay.
When I first started learning,
Does look like Aaron's reloaded.
like, the best job I played with.
Jeff with the King Queen of Clubs makes it 35.
Oh, I got to defend my big.
Not McAfee deciding to CF up with the 6-5 offsuit. We saw how that went the last time. 6-5 offsuit and ace-6 suited.
He's targeting me. This was my big.
But King 10-10, so it will be Jeff outflapping the both of them. And now filling up. Jeff with Kings full of 10s, unlikely to get any further money unless Josh decides to bluff, which he does. Jeff just going to call. In case Josh is ever bluffing, let him bluff. Jack on the river. Jeff is losing to almost nothing. Does not go to overvalue when check 2. Gets the folds. Chat wondering about maybe getting Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris to run the Indy 500. That would be awesome if they decided to try that. Hopefully, Alonso's a trendsetter. That way, Fernando Alonso had tried Indy.
Hey, so I might have
Now
been
Jimmy
good.
Johnson's going to try Indy this coming year. That should
Or did you have the king?
be interesting.
Probably
Or jacks?
Oh, River the Jack. That was
Kansas this year. They're under
I think Grosjean was going to try it too.
Kansas City.
Oh, they're doing much better.
They've had a rough start, right?
Yeah, they've ripped off.
I remember in the
like,
beginning they lost a couple of games like right out the gate.
Yeah, no, they were not looking good.
What was it like? But how did they get? Was it because of injuries or like they lost some players?
no Mahomes.
They just weren't the same offense.
Now Dave has the Steam Dola #1, the 8 of spades, 8 of hearts. He just limps it. That's an insult to the Steam Dola #1. Johnny raising to 45 with the ace-jack offsuit. Josh just calling with the ace-queen offsuit in the small blinds. Definitely a re-raise candidate.
I mean, I could easily see Kansas City's so-called dynasty.
Aaron with the suited connector now priced into call, as will Dave.
Different offense, good coach.
5 ways to this flop.
Watch a lot of college. I do a lot of second leagues and survivors. I'm actually 17
Flop is king 10-3, couple of diamonds, so gut shots for Josh and Johnny sharing outs. And Dave's 8s are actually the best hands at the moment, believe it or not. So we check through, and this queen turn will give Johnny the nuts. The ace high straight, the Broadway, and it will give Josh second pair, which he has decided to bet.
which is the job he always wanted. He just didn't get chosen last time.
Goes for 125. Johnny just flatting.
It's gonna be a fun time.
King's going to pair on the river, and it's going to complete the diamonds. So one of the very worst rivers that Josh could see, or rather that Johnny could see.
First off, he doesn't need the money. Dude is good. And because he doesn't need the money, he gets to like really be invested in the program. The right way.
Yeah, he gets the kids in, and his son is actually a really good player.
And the program's good, right?
He won the sweat conference. He went 11-2 this year.
Josh going to continue his story, bets 300.
His press conferences are he thinks he's like on the same level, and he's like, why don't you respect me like you respect Saban with those questions?
And Johnny thinking about this, like, this was a really bad river. It puts up the front door diamonds, and it completes them both. He's going to let it go.
You picked the right one.
Aggression going to get it through,
Either card was going to scare you.
and Josh going to show it.
That was the scarier of the two cards. That's a scarier than just queen.
You didn't care which one I picked. It was a perfect. I picked the wrong card for me.
A popular online thread.
I was preferring you pick that one, but I didn't care.
I had to fold if I saw that card, right? I don't feel bad about folding.
Either was good.
That's the greatest story in college football.
Texas PR.
See that showing game getting the job done.
Nobody's talking about it.
Everyone's
Texas
straddling.
PR. Fucking put that shit under there.
Look at our big winners, Tillman and Dave so far.
That was a scary ass card.
Goddamn monkey.
Aaron and Josh the most stuck at the moment, but the night is still young. Just an hour and a half into this TCH Live. We got Jay-Win making it 35 with his ace-5 suited. Looks like the $10 straddle was on. Jeff with the ace-9 off, calling from the +2.
You really had the straight?
Those aces look so tempting, but you can get in trouble with a hand like that. Johnny with the 4 deuce of spades is going to call. Tillman folding the 9 triz on the straddle.
I thought it was like 50 over. I could have counted wrong.
3 ways to this
I
one.
was looking, I saw 250 clearly where I was trying to bet about that.
And it was tough.
King 9 deuce will give Jeff middle pair and the best hand, bottom pair for Johnny. Jeff makes it 45. Johnny's going to call. Jay-Wayne going to get out of the way. Queen turn will put up another over to Jeff's holding. Jeff is undeterred. Meets at 60. Pretty small bet. Johnny going to go for the raise to 150. And we'll get Jeff off the best hands.
That's where that physique came from. When's the last time you've danced? Me? Just in general, doesn't matter what kind, not break dancing, but.
Straddle, Jeff?
Do you dance regularly?
Who does? David, restraddle?
And now it's more moshing.
I'll go all in.
Wow, Pratt is busto. Poor Pratt.
I do a lot of head bumps.
Well, you're going to just have to grind the chat to get those points back. Grind the chat or take the easy way out and send a super chat.
I do some Latin dance.
Both options valid.
So there's no straddle then.
No, I said if you do it, I would.
Son of a bit, it's over now. He's
Over now.
you got me throwing out that 20 straddle.
Why is he asking me? It's something good.
Because it has to be you and then it has to be
Looks like we got a double straddle here. 2-5, 10, 20. Johnny gonna call the 20. Not McAfee. Gonna go for it with a king 9. 204.
Notification. It just noted.
Plus the chip count is different. Make up the official count.
Dark right now?
It's 199. That's the official count.
I said I would, which I did. I wasn't going to if you straddle.
Lots of folds. Let's see if Johnny decides to gamble. We see that McAfee is actually ahead. The king 9. There we go. Johnny's going to go for it with the 2 live cards and the diamonds.
Hold on, let me make sure he's good.
See how many times we run it. Ooh, 2 diamonds. That jack 8 looks a lot more live.
Show me an ace.
Does not get there.
King high. King high is good.
Not McAfee trying his best to punt, but keeps winning. We do get another run out, and we do have the 8 on the flop.
8 ball.
Chop it up.
How was it working with 3 people though?
And yes, Pratt, if you super chat, you do get points.
I felt like gambling if you don't win. Most of the time they fold, so I didn't mind doing it. I was going to do it anyway. It's all good. No, at that point.
Never listen to stuff that says straddle.
6s would have taken them both.
I won. That's right. We won some money there.
I'll do the 10 any day.
All he
Some
had
players
to do-
lamenting their folds that
I had a deuce.
would have beaten the
I had one deuce.
somewhat white holdings that we saw get in there.
I had deuce 8.
Hey, David, here's your chance.
You saying you had a
Are you gonna do it again?
If Jimmy straddles, I will restraddle.
See what this next hand brings us. King 9 versus Jack 8. How often do you see those get in?
Keep that going up if I do this? Yes. 580.
Oh yeah.
This works for me because I'm alive. I'm practically all in. I'm probably most likely.
We got a lot of straddles. 2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80 from the not McAfee. You know what? If you're going to do the 80, why not just put them all in? He's going to play like 3 big blind poker, I guess. I suspect the rest of them are going in. Josh with the 7 deuce makes it 500! And Brian's got ace queen. It should go in here. Brian started this hands with less than 9 big blinds. Ace queen should never ever be folding to a single raise. Playing this shallow. Remember, it's like the big blind is $80. And Brian is going to do the correct thing and move all in for slightly more than Josh's raise. I imagine not McAfee's going to feel priced in with anything he has, and he is going to put it in. He's got King Jack. He's got a legitimate holding, and he's got
200 more?
2 live cards.
800 and change.
I could be wrong. I'm probably lying.
It's like 680.
And now Josh has to call. Like he's getting pot odds with any 2 cards. Another $200 into a pot that's going to be $1,700. Getting like 7-1. Like he's gonna win often enough. And it is all in. You do get to realize all your equity. As we see, he does have 2 live cards. Everyone with 2 live cards here. Not gonna get these pots right. Not McAfee
Do this.
can win 217 off of each of his opponents.
Both of them are things.
The rest of that goes on the
I'm
side.
telling you, I'm behind. I'm behind right now. I was just trying to make it move.
Josh is very self-aware,
Bringing it home.
knowing that he's behind.
Rip it.
3 times, can we do it? Can we do it? I mean,
What you
I'll do it twice if it's allowed 3-way. I don't care.
Negotiating the run, the run out number of boards.
If we were not, it'd be the computer can't do it.
One time coming up.
I mean,
Do you have to like
It gets
manually
confused.
program it? Like
it gets
3 ways?
confused. I mean, you have aces though, right, Brian? Brian, you have
What
aces,
does he
right?
have?
Ace in the window, that's good for Brian. The 7 gives life to Brian, and not McAfee does have the gut shot with his King Jack.
Queen.
The 10's going to pair,
Queen or heart?
7!
Never mind. Queen.
7! Do 7
and
off!
Brian is going to take the apparently 1 board. I think they just run it once here. And Brian is going
Playing
to
7 deuce by myself.
scoop this pot. Josh seems to think that we were playing the 7 deuce game. He's playing it by himself,
He
though.
not called, it was a Seth. I won.
No, I was.
You did make the correct read.
Correct read. But I'm
It
a
seems
Seth
that in
now.
any universe, McAfee would end up being a punter. Only a question of what kind.
Oh, that turn killed me.
You're a wild boy, Josh.
Squirroo wondering, would I straddle my stack? Depends. How big's my stack?
Check, live stream. Check, live stream.
At certain depths, sure.
I was up against a short stack.
Biggest dude of them. And I get dealt Jack Jack. Cool. I think Austin.
Like if I'm down to my last 20 bucks, I'll just, I consider just putting it in.
Like a $40 straddle with ace eight.
I was hoping my raise was big enough that no one else could do anything. He just happened to have.
Never mind. You left one across the line. I wasn't sure.
I was targeting the straddler. I hope no one else had anything. He happened to have something.
Some in-depth
And
analysis
the
from
amount that
Josh.
he happened to have was not an amount I could go away for.
It's across the line. That counts.
He definitely made his own bet there.
Like even if he had a grand there, I gotta peel it off. An extra 200.
Johnny with the 3s, then make it 20.
That makes sense. The initial raise to 500.
Well, that makes me stupid. But
Josh going to 3-bet the ace-8 offsuit, but just at $50, a little bit small.
I actually hit. I was close.
For the new players, how about we do a bump up?
I was drawn live. Especially after hitting my 7. That turn killed me. The turn killed me. Ugh.
Johnny going to go set mining here.
What was that called?
They had only the card 9.
And as he hits that set, middle set, Josh does have a gut shot.
He's been doing 8, 9. Yeah, play 8.
All right, we're gonna need chip counts for you game.
Johnny checks it over. Josh,
Is it on me already?
see if he bets.
I'll check.
He checks it back. 8 of clubs. Might scare Johnny a little bit. Front door clubs do get there, but I have to figure Josh probably would have bet a club draw that he flopped. Johnny gonna go 150, 1.5 times pot. Josh has very little. He will fold.
Knit. No club.
We'll show the 8 of spades.
Did my ace spin a club?
Can you ask what the match is?
Ace 8.
What's the match size?
Looks to be about 20.
So what do we think of all the NFL craziness recently? Like half the league's got Corona, it seems. And we have Urban Meyer kicking the kicker, supposedly.
I lost that Saturday, but not like a lot.
Can't believe he didn't even last the year in Jacksonville.
Is everyone playing that stupid game? Aaron, is everyone playing that?
Yeah, 9-3 heart the whole time I'm playing.
Alright, I'll play that.
Yeah.
My Broncos are probably going to do just enough if they keep the coach another year.
Who got it really in?
And you got 7 wins against a lot of really garbage teams.
I don't really have an NFL team.
It's easy to win 7 games when you're playing Detroit and you're playing the Jets. You're playing the NFC East.
He's not dead. What? Did he say he was in?
Looks like we do have another player taking not McAfee's place. Thanks for playing, junior producer Seth.
Tables in?
Maybe after the hand.
Oh, sorry, guys. Too late.
Because if you're in the hand,
I paid you.
I'll give it back to you.
Who's this? That was mine.
I gave you mine. That's yours.
Oh, no, we're gonna do it after.
That's horseshit. The first hand here. Where's Seth?
Hey, welcome to the fucking table. Damn, I should have taken that.
Josh makes a 30 with the queen 10 off.
$800 seat.
Aaron gonna raise the king 9 suited, gonna make it 130. He's gonna run smack into Tillman's ace king.
800.
That would have been a good fucking
He's pissed.
They may be discussing some sort of prop bet.
He's like, okay, I'm good, guys.
I think I had a 600 by the way.
Tillman just flats with the ace king. Certainly a 4-bet candidate. Does not go that route this time. But he will have position
I'm on the permanent list, guys.
as we go to this flop 3 ways.
I'm on the list.
He'll have position. He'll have the best hand pre-flop, as he will have the best hand post-flop. Jack 6-6 rainbow, not connecting with anybody.
To Austin and
See if Aaron continues. He certainly could rep an overpair. Makes it 250, and Tillman gets out of there with the ace king. Aaron's aggression will get the job done.
okay, now send the money.
If Tillman 4-bets at pre, he's good. I mean, if he just 4-bets at pre, he just clears his opponents out of there almost every time,
Tillman.
especially if they think he's on the tighter side.
There we go. And now we're all chipping up to $3 grand. So you should, I feel like you should tell the
Reset your stack.
Yeah, reset your stack, count it up.
I'm gonna add 500.
C8 just
Oh boy, just that.
He didn't even, he just went.
adding 5, C5.
so you're gonna they'll update it.
C5 is adding 5, C8 is
So you took the greens off because no, this I was chipping down from there. Yeah. Okay. I got a 29 and 23.
Oh, what's he did this? 9?
8.
Looks like we're getting this new player entered into the system right now.
Well,
He just moved it.
yeah, he just sat down. It has been 8 all night. It has been 8 all night.
What's your name?
Do you want to
AJ.
play?
AJ.
Josh, for the domesticated people at the table.
Okay, it's 23 plus 800.
Not getting these hands dealt out.
500.
For the people
Got a fold from Josh.
Well,
from the Neanderthal
I'm
DNA.
like,
I'm used to it because my freaking wife's family, all Mexican, crazy loud.
Couple more folds. Tillman with an ace and an ace this time, making it 50. 5 times the straddle, little bit big.
And Italians not only.
Jeff gonna defend his button with the king 10. Oh no, Johnny with the ace king. Cooler City. Usually you're thrilled to have ace king. He's crushed and he's probably gonna 3-bet. He is gonna 3-bet. Gonna make it 225. Tillman with the aces.
The fact that it's hitting so high in that variance.
God damn it, I just wanted to play it.
Rips it for $2,200. That is a huge re-raise.
Within the
And the one sizing to where Johnny's going to have to really think about this.
variance level of one night, I've had
1,600 behind for Johnny.
diamonds twice.
It's very hard to justify folding ace king.
Within like 4 to 5 hands.
Would definitely be one of those
The exact same card.
opponent-specific folds. He folds! He gets away from it.
One of these days, Michael can flip over too.
Brento Box saying hi from Australia. What crazy hands have you missed? Oh, we've had a few. I mean, this could have gotten insane, but I mean, look at this ending. I mean, we've had boat versus trips. We've had flush over flush. We've had some successful bluffs that you wouldn't expect to see, but we saw. Yeah, I guess we're very big in Australia. I guess it's the evening over there, or I guess or the afternoon over there. Right now, it's like Friday already. Happy Friday if you're in Australia or New Zealand or really anywhere in the Eastern Hemisphere where it's Friday. So I fold the ace king against a really tight player. I could justify that, but I've certainly been burned doing that on stream before. It's very hard to justify folding ace king in a heads-up pot.
The real question is, what else are you holding and folding? Like,
Multi-way, if you have a bunch of raises, that's a different story. And it's like, I've definitely done it. Like off stream, I've definitely done it in a tournament. Jack 6-3, top pair for AJ and Aaron. In fact, they have the same hands. Josh will make it 40. Aaron going to go for the raise and makes it 130. AJ going to call. Josh gets out of there. They both have the same hand. Aaron has the betting lead, though, so I do see a world where maybe he can get AJ off the chop. There's, yeah, so there's a check from AJ. See how Aaron proceeds here. He does just check it. That 7 could slow things down. It does put 4 to a straight out there. Or it could give AJ cause to lead river. About half pot, 225. Aaron does lose to some jacks here. Certainly 2 pairs of possibility as well. Like you see the 6 there and then the 5 and the 7. There's a couple of obvious 2-pair candidates there that might have just randomly spiked. And Aaron will call and they will chop it up. A little bit of dead money in there.
It's like, I can't think of the last time I went to the...
Jude wondering if Johnny's a content creator. I don't know.
You know, like, you can be served food and alcohol wire.
Some of these players I'm familiar with, some of them I'm not.
I can't think of the last time it's like, you gotta buy your stuff at the desk and then go back to the theater and sit there and get nothing.
It is a little weird that way where you have to order on the line.
Oh, on that one? I
And
would
so Now we're coming up on the end of 2021 here.
I'm doing
Now this will actually be my last show this year. I'm going to be home this time next week. I'm going to be back in New York, hanging out with the family for Christmas and New Year's. I'll be back out here, back at it afterwards. Always good to be able to take a little break. Funny thing though, like I've got a 5-year-old niece who really loves some Australian cartoon, and here I am talking to a bunch of Australians in the chat. Small world. I think it's called Bluey. It's like some cartoon with dogs or something. The things you learn. Someone with the 9/8 suited making it 20. AJ coming along with the suited gapper. 7-5 suited, that's a fun hand. And Josh defending big blinds with the 10-5 offsuit, which we all know has 2 straight draws, 2 flush draws. Speaking of straight draws, Tillman's got one. He's got the open ender. Josh's middle pair, the best hands at the moment. And we'll lead for $30.
Oh, it's like when the two of us talk.
Tillman calling.
Same life, or Army on.
Heads up to a turn, which will pair the 10. Josh now holding 3 10s. Is going to get tricky and check his trips. Tillman now going to bet this straight draw, $75. Little over half pot. These trips are not going anywhere.
You're lying.
And the straight will not get there for Tillman on that King River.
I have a 10.
Tillman's going to give up, and Josh is going to say that he has a 10. And he does have a 10. And a 10 will be good enough to win that pot.
Not only could I get you a beer, I can open it for you. Hey, grab me something to drink. One of the little shooters.
I don't know exactly what the streaming schedule looks like the next couple weeks with the holidays being a thing. But if you're subscribed and you've got those notifications turned on, you'll find out every single time we are on the air. Certainly this coming Saturday, we will have the final table for the Dallas tournament here on TCH Live. Whenever they hit final table, that tournament seems to get bigger every week. Smashing that guarantee. Prize pool was north of $80,000 last week. Gonna have a limits pot, straddle versus straddle. Very light holdings. Neither of them going to be impressed with this flop. Tillman will get the bluff through with the 6 high.
This 9-3 game is seriously toying with me because I've had the 3 of hearts, 9 of diamonds 2 times.
The 7th deuce game fucks with you more than
Well, that one I do well. This one.
Is there any other games going on?
No.
Hope you all have a great holiday season as well.
9-4 hearts.
Yeah, I caught 9-4 hearts.
Whatever it is that you celebrate or have celebrated already. I know Hanukkah happened already.
3 of hearts, 9 of diamonds.
This one?
the 9-3.
Yeah.
Man, the nuts.
The very first.
The
It was like
first,
under the gun, just like.
He like David.
yeah, the very first.
Dallas has all the fun. A couple days ago, they hit the bad beat up there.
Been waiting for it for days.
Aces full of 10s, getting down by quads. Congratulations to all who benefited from that. I hear the $100 from everybody in the room share was like 28 grand. It was insane. Of course, I get here a few hours after that hit. If I could have just been here earlier, I'd have had $100. So we see AJ making it 145 over Jeff's raise. Both with a suited ace. Jeff's is better. But ace-9 does not inspire a lot of confidence, usually. AJ will get the job done with that aggression.
I'm really bad at poker. That's all you need to know.
And Squirrel, I don't know where those guys are either. Hopefully they show up. Hopefully they're around at some point.
Go ahead. I deserve every. Go ahead. Every bit of it for the rest of my life. Go ahead.
But you know what? I'm really happy to have the 271 of you
Watching me,
with me
watching
tonight
to the realization of what I just said. That's all you
as
need.
we hit the halfway point on TCH Live. William Waddy, the New York Knit with you. Angel pressing the buttons. Matt dealing the cards. Junior producer Seth setting the lineups.
Have you further discussed etiquette, or like, do people prefer a fold and hold? I mean,
Tell you what we do have going on still. We've got the quads of the day here in Austin. Check TexasCardHouse.com for the current quads of the day. I think there are threes today. I don't know what the jackpot is.
like Austin, you just immediately.
5 ways to this flop. Limped pot. 9, 8, 7. We see Tillman with a pair and a gut shot. Aaron with a gut shot. Jeff with the middle pair and the open ender. Dave with the open ender. And very sneaky open ender. The jack would give him a better straight than Jeff. Jeff is going to bet his pair plus draw to the tune of $45. About the size of the pot, and Dave going to call. J1 getting out of there, and we're going to go heads up to this turn, which is a jack. Wow!
That's 17%. Let's go.
Another cooler here. Dave with the nuts straight. Jeff with the second nut straight, just the 10. Only losing to Queen 10, but that is exactly what he's against. Dave makes it 50. Jeff just calls. This 9 of clubs may save Jeff some money. Pairs the board and brings in the backdoor clubs. Dave makes it 100. What's happened here?
I got 200 more to go. So I call.
Dave made it 100.
The graphic shows all in all.
Jeff raised to 200, but I believe Dave prematurely turned over his cards. So he'll collect that extra $100 from the mint click, but he will not get the opportunity to put in a third bet, as it would be quite insane to call when you know for a fact that you're losing.
You're only dead if your opponents have 7, 7, and deuce.
Ace, queen, and king jack. Neither of them even have pairs.
Get another hand dealt out here.
Let's drink some fun. Hey, I just got him.
People.
He told me.
He had 5, 6, the board came 6, 8, 6. But he called my
So you were behind.
Aaron 5-3 suited on the button makes it 35. Going for it. There's our Jalen Jeff with the 9-4. Aaron gonna steal himself some blinds.
How good there's a hand strength. It's subjective. Aces versus kings. Somebody's behind, but they're both worthy of getting it all in.
Checks. Live stream, checks.
The guy with glasses did it to
Live
the guy
stream
without
check.
glasses.
I think we've got a reload happening here.
He's getting his new glasses out. His meow glasses. Meow.
You gotta borrow a pair of glasses?
No, I'm good. I like it better that way. Holy shit, what do you got
He's
there?
got a spare pair.
I love the premise of this conversation. I got cooler.
500 beyond.
Who wants the cooler?
Your hand sucks.
It wasn't even cool. Our hand was trips.
You was ahead of you the whole way.
You just kept bending into.
Well, I didn't say that. You said it.
Players having a great time tonight. That's what we like to see.
I'm deeper.
Poker is alive and did as well and did as fun. We see Aaron going for some shades.
Oh, just snap them off.
Can someone bring
Little clip-ons.
take a combination?
Someone making it 20 with the King-Jack offsuit. Jeff, the suited connector. He's going to call. They're going to get him some change. Nice reload going on there.
You forgot it?
No.
Clip-on sunglasses. I haven't seen that in a while. Like,
Middle of the road.
I've had glasses that have had the clip-ons. Now I just have the transition lenses. We see Jesse getting the money out to
The whole dead
seat 5, Jeff.
like take this.
We see Jeff flopping a diamond draw. And it looks like Dave did call with his 8-4, so he's got a gut shot.
Left the rest of them.
Did you check?
Yes, I did.
30 though. What are you doing?
Heads up.
Chilling like a villain.
Someone continues for 30, gets the call from Jeff, who now picks up a gut shot as well.
Flop lag by about an hour.
Selman's king high will be best at showdown. Check, check the king high. Gonna take it down.
I laid down deuce 7. Never laying it down again.
He's jamming.
Yeah, I made 500 wasn't enough.
40's ready. 40's available.
Solve another 210.
Live 20,
201,
live 40.
701.
All right, live 40's on. 80's available.
I see
Use
straddles.
some of that free deuce 7 money.
We love this action. Believe this is live 10, live 20, live 40. Here at TCH, under the gun can straddle. Got to be at least $10, or got to be at least twice the big blinds. Can't be your entire stack. And if you straddle, the player to your left can re-straddle at least twice once again. And then keep doing that all the way to the button if you want. We see Brian limping the ace-jack offsuit. Shows interest in the pot, but also not giving his opponents a chance to fold. Which is one of the ways that you can win a pot here. A lot of folding happening.
Oh, I need that one. What was it? 9-2, 2 diamonds.
3 players.
I announced that I have a 2 by saying
AJ calling with the 6-4 off, and Josh getting a free look at his 9
I
deuce.
got 3 9 of hearts. I'm just,
We all know about deuces and limps pots.
here we go.
Speak of the devil. Josh with bottom pair, AJ with middle pair. Best hands at the moment.
100.
I'm an easy eater in terms of like liking everything.
Josh going to make it 100.
You know what part of it is?
I'm going to win the hand and get the $100.
Brian calls.
I really want to eat like really good shit.
Does turn a gut shot and the nut heart draw.
250.
Josh did not bet 25. He bet 250. Brian just calling. And Brian just rivering the nuts. Josh is sitting here with the 9 of hearts.
Check.
Does check it over. Has the 3rd best heart. See if Brian can find a sizing that gets a call from that flush.
I've been really lucky, yeah. Like, they're both within 5 or 6 months of each other. And I've been really lucky where I have to wait 22 months. Right here is not normally that.
Josh is already showing AJ his at least one of his cards. Brian makes it 250. Josh may feel priced in here. Gonna keep him honest, and Brian's gonna show him the truth. He got there with both his straight and his flush. Only needed one of them.
No, you didn't.
Will collect himself a nice
I
pot.
had 9 of hearts flush.
We see Brian, Tillman, and Dave, the big winners. Josh, Aaron, and Jeff. With some work to do, but they've got some time to do that work.
I am not risk averse whatsoever. Like 70 yards
With this dealer change, we do get a $10 double board PLO bomb pot
Right?
or single board. We don't do double board on stream. My brain is out in the room where we can do double board. But on the stream, we can only do single board. I think we've got Jesse in the box now.
Somebody I really respect. I feel good about Ethereum. Ethereum's what I feel great about. The other ones are just kind
I'll
of.
tell you guys something though. With us approaching the end of the year, I do want to say thanks to all of you who have watched the show this past year and have been watching me and supporting me as I've stepped into the booth. Thanks for that, and thanks for the people giving me the chance to get in the booth. I got my first shot thanks to the original voice of the show, Mike Youngblood, who gave me a shot to do a Sunday show with him back when we were doing the tournament final tables, and then that turned into another shot, and then a few more, and then here I am doing Thursdays with you guys. So thanks to him, and then thanks to our super senior executive producer, David, for putting up with me and letting me continue to sit in here. So all the production staff, the dealers who make this happen. We do have a King 10-8 2-diamond flop, and we do have some cards here. Johnny has an open-ender. We see Brian and Aaron with some weak diamond draws. Jaywin has aces and the ace of diamonds. This queen turn will give Johnny a straight to the king. Right now he's only losing to ace jack, but he has 2 of the jacks, and we don't see anybody sitting with ace jack at the moment. Johnny going to go $45. Josh going to call. Brian going to call. Josh sitting with 2 pair and an open-ender. Brian with a weak diamond draw and a straight draw. J1 going to fold those aces. Jeff with top 2 of his own going to call. At 10's going to pair on the river. Nobody's going to like this river. This could just shut it down. It'll either invite a bluff or it'll shut it down, one or the other. Johnny goes 135. You can choose a sizing other than pot in this game, and Johnny's aware of that. And
Kings? Queens?
can't tell what's happened here.
I had 4 pair.
You had queens?
I had the 10s and all the other ones.
Oh, wow. Jeff raised it and got the job done from the look of it. He is the one stacking the chips.
Can't beat shit.
And a jack in there, so I had the straight draw going into it. I'm like, 3 pair to straight draw. Yeah. Then the 10, yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm
Back to
happy with
Hold'em.
any of them.
2-5, $10 straddle.
King, obviously, but any of the others, I'm thinking people there are probably betting straights. But I didn't have a 10.
Aaron makes it 40 with his king-jack offsuit. Jeff gonna call it that suited connector. 9 of clubs on the button. Take this heads-up flop in position. He'll flop middle pair.
I'm like, he's got
Ace on the
half
flop.
one. He's
Aaron
double fisted.
could try and represent the ace. He chooses not to. Jeff's gonna make it 35. Aaron gonna call, holding the back doors. And one of the best unpaired hands, and now turns himself a gut shot. Jeff goes for $50 now. Still just the third pot, going small here. Aaron perhaps feeling like he could try and draw here, but deciding not to. Jeff getting it done. Gonna collect some chips. If you're unfamiliar with the chip sets here, white chips are $1, red chips are $5, green chips are $25, black chips $100, pink chips $500. Those purple chips are $2 tip chips. They are not in play. All the other denominations are. I don't see any on the table, but we do have orange plaques that are $1,000. I don't see any on the table at this moment.
Yeah, but then you're still using that crypto to buy in at the next one. So I guess it still is kind of sitting there as well.
Raise 10. Sticky. Noise. This is sticky. I tried to call. Raise 10.
Josh with the queen of diamonds.
I grabbed the top one. Did
Makes
you
it
see
10.
that
That may have been a straddle that got misentered. I don't know.
Yep, that was definitely for
Min raise is a little bit weird this deep. Brian making it 30 with his E6 of clubs, and Dave with the queens. The ladies on the button. We'll make the small re-raise to 75.
I would do that if there was like
just out of pure gumption.
a nice little class.
Josh gonna call.
Well, the limp was hoping somebody.
He opened race to 10.
The limp was hoping somebody.
Ace 9-6. Ace is up for Brian. Dave thinking there's always an ace. Always, every damn time. Gotta say that quiet. You can't say that out loud. Dave gonna tell the story. Hey, I got an ace. He does have the backdoor spades. Makes it 150. And Brian has 2 pair. So I don't expect Brian to be going away here.
We did lose one player, but it was a net positive. They said he left because we were getting better plays than him, so he was like, fuck it.
Brian just gonna call. Give Dave a little bit of rope, and Brian not liking that turn. He's got the 3 pair now. His 6 is counterfeit. Now a third 9, so nine's full of aces for Brian rather. Dave with 9's full of queens may feel like he could bluff catch here against Brian's $300 bet.
Really?
Yeah, that was a stack going around the section there.
Apparently, Evan Stewart's good friends with
I have a big pocket pair, but I don't have that.
that mother. I mean, he might be trolling.
He checked it down though, so.
Really?
Brian's kicker problem solved by that third 9.
I got that. I mean, you're 17. You're 17. You're like 6'2", 6'3".
Dave does call, thinking I can't fold a boat.
That was good.
Gonna see the ace, and Ryan will take this one down.
You knew the minute an ace came out on that flop. I lay down. Good hand.
I see somebody asking, or suggesting rather, that I should have somebody in this booth with me because maybe you don't like the pauses so much. I mean, sometimes I've had a partner in here, sometimes I haven't. And I'll tell you, some of these pauses are very deliberate. Like when we're hearing this great table conversation. The players are the real stars of the show, not me. They're the stars. Give you the full experience of being in this game, because they are a fun bunch. If I have something valuable to say, I'll say it. I'm not going to try and fill every last second of airtime. That's not my style. And we have Jeff with the Steam Dola #1, the 8 of spades, 8 of hearts, making it 55. Looks like we do have a live 10, live 20. And we have AJ with the ace king suited. And we have AJ going for the 3-bet. Makes it 185. Now Josh with the ace jack off. He's going to call. Risky business there. Raising a 3-bet could be dominated for sure. Offsuit hand not flopping quite as well either. Suited hand just gives you more flush draws, more backdoor flush draws, more flops you can continue on. Jeff gonna show Jay Wynn what he's folding. Gonna go heads up to this flop. They were deep enough that he could have considered calling and trying to hit an 8, which he would have hit an 8. And AJ flopping the nut club draw. If Jeff calls, we would have just seen a whole bunch of money pile in on this flop. Such is life.
Jeff, I said you're pretty happy with that, right? Because you know how like, a lot of people in consulting every company I've been with.
AJ checks the Joshua, makes it 225. AJ goes for the check raise. This should end it. Josh is covered here. I would be surprised if Josh called here. Not much that he's beating the way this hand went down. AJ's raise has Josh covered. Josh considering whether ace-jack high could be good here. No pair. He doesn't have a draw either. He does fold. Just imagine a world where Jeff folds. He's thinking, nah.
He was jack. I'm assuming he was higher. I was pocket 8.
Did it make good laydown?
Jeff owning up to the pocket 8s.
If one other person's in, I'm in. Hang up.
We do see Josh, Tillman, AJ, Aaron, all super active playing a third or more hands. Jay went down at 19%, but still above the magic body line. Yeah, Zach, I would have taken the flop with 8s as well. What the price that you're getting. Forget exactly how much more it was. I think it was maybe like 100 or so into a pot that was maybe 400. And then enough money behind. It's like when you flop an 8, you could stack somebody. Like that 3-better could totally have an overpair. Or we saw he flop clubs and they would have been racing. And you know what? Yeah, I know that you, Squirrel, I know I can't satisfy everybody, and that's life. Everybody's going to have their own opinions. Dave gonna limp this double straddle pot with the king 10 suited. Josh with the 9-6 of diamonds makes it 80, and Aaron waking up with the kings.
Pretty big one in LA around Thanksgiving time.
How big does he go with this straddle special? Makes it 325. Probably just ends it here. Josh is going to go all in, and he's going to get snapped by Aaron. Ace 7-3, and then a 10, and then a 5, and Josh doesn't have any of those, so Aaron is going to stack Josh. Aaron going to be on the right end of it for a change.
69! Suited!
Wait,
I know. No, I turned the straight draw.
What suit?
Diamond.
There's the justification right there. That's why Josh played that hand.
You bet 500 with 7-2. If it goes 69, that's an all.
Matthew Brown, yeah, like the 8s are a tight fold. Like now, with it being a live stream, so if you think the live stream game is going to be looser, then it's definitely not a fold. Like the fact that it's on a live stream and the internet's watching in general, like I try my best to shut that out of my mind as I play the game. Because at the end of the day, I'm playing poker, and whether there's cameras or not, I'm going to try and play my best, and try and forget that the internet's watching. Which, like, if you haven't played on stream before, that can be hard. My first couple times playing on stream, it's like, yeah, I'm going to look dumb in front of the internet, but I quickly realize that's not going to really be an issue.
69 diamonds? You got it.
Hallie is wondering if Aaron is Aaron from TCH Live. Yes, that is our very own Dr. A.A. Ron McAvoy, who you can hear most Monday nights here on TCH Live as he does our 5-10 No Limit Hold'em commentary. Does an excellent job at that. Got to play with him last week on stream. It's the first time in forever that we've both been on a cash stream together, since one or the other of us have been doing commentary so many times. We have Dave with the ace queen, made at 40. Aaron defends his big blind and flops top pair with his king jack.
I know Jersey won, because that's where old boy.
What, 40?
Okay.
Four of spades on the turn. Aaron's still out ahead. Gonna go for some value here. Dave with the nut, no pair, but no draw either. Does have 2 overs. Does beat a few draws.
Made the market so bearish about it. Like, what didn't pan out?
They're just spending like crazy on marketing.
Makes it 100. Aaron made it 100. Dave calls.
Too much. I know they have Barstool, things like that.
Got a 10 river.
It's a long-term play for when gambling continues.
Aaron's jack is still good.
The thing that makes it take off is that more and more states legalize online betting. Like, it's just like, why? Like, think about all the things the government expects from people. You can't fucking.
Aaron gonna go for some more value here.
Like, it just blows my mind.
Makes it 75.
Like, the fact that it's so hard to play online poker just blows my mind.
Targeting a weak pair. Dave's gonna fold.
I can't lay this down for such a milky bet.
Matthew Brown wondering how easy or hard it is to get on this live stream. It is super easy. All you gotta do is go to the video description, click the link, and fill out the form. And then we'll get in touch with you about the where and the when, depending on what kind of stakes you want to play. I don't know exactly what the list looks like these days in terms of how many people express interest. Obviously, only so many get in. I know we had at least 3 alternates on tap tonight, if need be.
That's what I want to hear.
You got a dirty sack. That's what I want.
Yes.
That's like a dirty sack.
And good luck to you if you decide to come out here on the stream. Sure, we'd love to have you. And JTN 1968, thanks for dropping by. Great to see you. Glad to see you're having a great time playing at TCH. Be like JTN 1968. Have a great time playing at TCH. One of our longtime chat pros.
Brown color.
Josh Ring at 50 with the ace-king suited.
That's what she said everything.
Jay win with an ace-king of his own on the straddle. Does go for the 3-bet. Makes it 150.
All in, 6-9 suited is bound to turn up eventually.
And Josh goes all in. Jay win calls. And
You want to do it, Nate? You want to do anything? Or big slick suited? One time. Big slick
one
suited.
time. And chop it up.
Ace high. Oh, mine's suited.
You
Better.
lied.
What? I said I've got big slick
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 9-6 suited.
I said big slick
Matthew
suited.
Brown says you'll be here sometime next year. Brother just started working here apparently. Well, congrats to your brother on getting to work with these awesome people. If I haven't met him yet, I'm sure I will in the near future, whoever he is.
They're going to title this stream 9 3 of Hearts and Dirty Dicks.
Is there a name?
Howie odds. Aaron playing hands. Lex folds. Yeah, Lex sure does fold. Watch that highlight reel from last week. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I really got away with one last week. Like I should have gone broke last week, but Lex decided to fold trips. Lex O Poker, and then he's calling me the nit, like on Instagram. That was wild. Now, Lex O Poker, I'd be happy to play you heads up if you're not too scared that you're going to give the nit money and then I never give it back. Because you know in heads up, I mean, there's nowhere for a nit to hide. So, if I'm the nittiest player ever, that should be easy pickings. Just saying. Hit me up. You're probably not watching this, but hit me up if you want to play heads up.
Because we already have action and action behind. So we'll play it out, and then we're going to move the button back. Okay?
If I fold, will it be a miss still?
No.
Go on.
If I no, these don't.
Who's got cash and change or in lieu of?
Josh calling 30 with Jack 8 suited. I guess we've had a straddle to 30. Tillman with the suited ace on the button's going to call.
Venmo, PayPal.
You need cash?
He needs a Venmo, buddy.
Possible.
No, fine. What do you need?
Jeff calling the 25. Dave checking his option on that straddle with the ace 10 suited, which is the best hand at the moment. Tillman flopping the nut diamond draw.
Don't apple me.
King 5-4.
Like Apple the player.
Venmo, PayPal. I got.
Dave's ace 10 high, the best hands at the moment.
Let me wait till the hand's over and I'll tell you. Sorry, I'll wait.
Tillman starting out with a $75 bet, about 2/3 pot with his nut diamond draw.
So the last Monday I played, Chaz was like, yeah, they won't let us do mics anymore.
And gets the folds.
And he like
Respect.
I have 1,000 on me. Do you want another 1,000?
Start with that.
JTN telling us what he was up to last night. 2-5 with Lex O and Jello from Next Gen, our friends at Next Gen Poker. And check out their vlog. Check out their Next Gen show podcast channel on YouTube. Nice recovery, JTN. Got to stay in there. Ragnar would be wondering how my quesadillas were. Yeah, the other night I'd made a Taco Bell run like that. I forget what we were discussing like during the show. Like it was Aaron and Carolyn in here, and Taco Bell comes up like I'm gonna make a Taco Bell run. Like I had quesadillas, and the quesadillas were pretty good actually. Unfortunately, the drive-through line took forever. Like, I lived just a few minutes from the Taco Bell, but I spent more time in the line at the Taco Bell than I did driving to and from the Taco Bell. But the quesadillas came out all right, which is nice because that store is a little bit hit or miss with the quality sometimes that they were on.
I have one bad experience.
I see the Queen of Felt dropping by. Hi there, Queen. Hope you're doing great. Got to play with the Queen of Felt on this very program a while back.
That one bad experience, never again.
Hope to see you again sometime at the table. Aaron opening his button with the Queen 4 suited. Tillman's King Jack offsuit. Gonna come along for the ride and gonna flop middle pair for the best hands. Tillman made it 15 and got the call and has now turned a gut shot, as has Aaron. Tillman checks it over now. Now it's Aaron doing the betting. Goes full pot, $75. Tillman calls. This Queen River does give Tillman the nuts. And goes check, check. And Aaron not going to bite.
I've ever done for someone else, like giving them cash for a crypto to chase.
You know what, Squirrel? Like going inside is a nice option to order. But the one problem with that these days is that Taco Bell is not open for dine-in right now. So some of these fast food restaurants have staffing problems these days, and one thing that some of them have done is they did what they did during the pandemic's peak last year, to where they were just not open for dine-in, like they'd be open for drive-through, and that would be the one way you could get your food. So yeah, in theory, I would totally do that, like if it was looking like that, but unfortunately, no such luck. And then the upside is they have to look you in the eye when they serve you the food that maybe didn't come out so great.
First off, you shouldn't borrow money unless you're
Kind of went from Josh and a race from Brian up to $30, and Jay Wynn gonna call and flop the nut club draw. Johnny with the fives, the best hands at the moment.
20 houses. We're basically done right now.
Johnny feeling pretty good about this 9 triz flop.
They want them up by now.
Fives likely the best hands at the moment. Jay-Win going to go for the raise, holding the ace-high club draw. Johnny going to have a hard time continuing, especially considering that there are further betting rounds. And Jay-Win is probably not going to slow down on said betting rounds. Johnny is going to fold those fives. Jay-Win getting it done with some aggressive play. That's why I don't know if they're open for carryout either. Like there are some places that they're just drive-through. Like you couldn't even go inside if you wanted to. I'll have to consider that next time. Pratt hoping that Aaron settles with him in tacos.
I mean, but honestly, if I can find people who are good at what they do and can get on roofs and everything, God, I will throw a ladder rack on one. I got 6.
If you're enjoying this Taco Talk, be sure and hit the like and subscribe buttons.
Ladder racks on any of them.
Let everyone know that you're enjoying this show. I see we're up to almost 200 likes. I bet we could hit 200 by the top of the hour.
When I hire outside creators, someone
$25 raise from Josh and the plus 110 offsuit.
We were yelling. We were like, no strap.
Clearly in the middle of a conversation.
I mean, if I provide ladders, it's 25. If I provide ladders, it's one rate. If they've got their own ladders, it's you know, like 1% difference.
Just gets it done.
And
I'll double strap next time.
like my percentage guys tend to be the hardest working guys. I've got guys because I've got an off-season business. Well, I've got a main season business that I use these guys for the.
There's a football game going on.
So anyway,
I haven't even looked at the score this entire night.
I'll just face it at the end. I like calling them. I like talking
See.
to them more than I like seeing the 10 out.
Chargers up 14-10 at the 2-minute warning.
always out for me.
All right. That's one that they really need for the division.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, Kansas City's stepped back a little bit this year, and I'd say that LA has stepped forward.
Yeah, they did. It's a lottery ticket. It beats the shit out of a $25 7 dudes. I don't know about it. It beats the shit
You
out
see
of it.
Dave stepping into the pot with his ace-queen offsuit, making it $30.
AJ? Alright. I'm going to beat the shit out of these two in this hand. Raise 200.
Woo! Love it.
Next hand, I'll beat the shit out of AJ.
King 7 suited, Johnny comes along, and then Josh wakes up with 2 queens,
How do we go from dirty dicks to violence?
makes it $100. Would like to see a bit of a bigger 3-bet from out of position. Dave's never folding.
Violence or dirty dicks? Dirty dicks.
Johnny's gonna fold. Safe flop for queens, 7-6 deuce.
And this is why the table's not mine.
Do 7. He sees a do 7 out there. He's like,
Josh continues for 105. Little under half pot.
Shit, you've been playing. 6-9,
6-9.
I'm like,
Is 6-9 good?
fucking bored.
Is 6-9 good? that is my range of board, right?
Yeah, totally is.
So you don't want to call. You've got to overpair. Come on. 6-9 no good. Do 7 good.
Dave considering 2 overs. Backdoor to the nut clubs. A float's not the worst thing ever.
Actually, a broth bomb. By broth bomb, I mean.
Question is, how wide do you think Josh could be 3-betting? Like, we've seen some light holdings from him tonight. If he is 3-betting just nonsense, you're beating nonsense.
Tell me what you got. I'll tell you what.
Here's the weirdest shit. Alright, I'm gonna get you one because it's gonna be the weirdest thing you taste. But you're gonna
Beat
fucking-
ace 9.
He does fold.
Spit out rum.
I got overpair. Queens.
But if you want a fresh
Queens. I got a premium. I believe it.
So, well, we've got a moment. Let me tell you about my weekend plans. I'm going to be heading over to TCH Houston, where the Poker Atlas Payday is underway at TCH Houston. $250,000 guaranteed, $600 buy-in. Starting flights today, tomorrow, and Saturday. In fact, Late Reg is still running on Flight 1B of the Poker Atlas Payday out in Houston.
Here, just type it in. Whatever, or scan.
Let's see. The A flight had 96 entries, bagged 15.
I've got balance because I just gave somebody a lot of. I don't know.
1B, like I said, late reg is running now. 74 entries so far. That's just Thursday. It's going to pick up as things go on. And then flights tomorrow and Saturday at 11:10
That guy in
and
the picture
6:10.
looks way more handsome than you.
Complete details, TexasCardHouse.com or Poker Atlas. I'll be there Saturday.
That's fine. Hey, just.
And good luck if I see you out there.
Let's see here. What should I put it as an image?
Jeff limping the 10-8 suited in this multiple straddled pot. Looks like we have a live 10, 20, 40.
I didn't start. You remember I said, what did you say?
What's it?
And then you guys
439.
ran
Hey.
you definitely started.
Yeah, that tournament is unlimited re-entry, so you bust out, you can fire a later flight, you can fire the same flight if late reg is still open. We see Johnny made it 330 with the pocket 7. It's a huge size there.
I know I have this. He's on the 2-5 here, right?
One intended to get folds, which is exactly what it got.
Like with the wrapper off. Take the wrapper off when you.
Only downside there is that if you get action with a bet that big, you're pretty screwed usually.
Push right down.
I just want to rip that shit up. I'm on 8, like all 10 pieces at once. I can't eat one piece at a time. That's like a fucking.
Thanks for the good luck, Squiroo. I can pretty much guarantee it will be my worst ever trip to TCH Houston. I've made exactly one trip to TCH Houston. It was for another tournament. And I chopped it for a whole lot of money. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to get to final table and then get more than half the chips and then chop the tournament. I got to try my best. But we'll see.
Hurry up, Jay. I'm in. You call? What is it? 20.
$35,000? No, I'd die. I would die. You think you'd die? I'm not.
Like a J-Win with the ace queen suited.
$700,000?
Best thing ever, especially on cold days.
It's hot as fuck though. That'll burn your shit.
Just limps. Looks like a live 10, live 20.
Oh, that's great. Like half of a pork chop.
What are you, your one day,
AJ bumping it up to 100 with king 7 suited. Josh calling with the mystery hands in the small blind. And Aaron with the jacks. The jiggities, the JJs.
Did that go through? It asked me to confirm your number, and then it said it had
And the 3-bet. Makes it 425. Jalen probably had thoughts of a back raise. We'll see how he plays it now.
After I entered the last 4, it said I had to pay.
He's still going to follow through with the back raise. He's going to make it $1,100.
9, 3, 1100. I just got these.
And the sizing to where he's going to have a hard time getting away from it if Aaron puts additional money in.
Come on, man. Oh, look, you fumbled. Oh, come on, you freaking Mahomes. You freaking Mahomes.
The limp 4-bet
See the hand
is going to give Aaron some pause here.
And the hand was going forward.
I should have roughly pretty much half in.
That's coming out.
I wish that was something that you could announce. I'm half in.
If he calls, pot is going to be like 2,500.
You threw the chip. I'm half in.
And you're going to have a little over half that behind.
Play with 2 of the 3 cards on the top. And that's for you.
Yeah.
I believe Aaron's moved all in, and now Jalen's going to call it off, and we're going to have ourselves a flip. Totally normal thing to happen when you're playing tournaments. But here we're flipping for over $5,000 in a 2-5 game.
I'll watch my 7-8 hit.
How often do you see that? We have king 6-3 and the queen. Aaron needs a jack. He does not get a jack. Aaron did flop a club draw. It did just run once. Jay-Win is going to get the full double up.
I didn't do it that way. No, I called blind.
He was walking up from me. Oh, that's my turn. But I just treat it like a straddle.
Very swingy session for our friend Aaron tonight. Jay-Win running hot, clearly. It's always nice when you can win the flips. Paul doesn't think he's ever seen cash on the table before. If you're seeing cash on this table, it's because somebody's in the process of buying chips, and they put the money out, and somebody comes and takes the money and brings back chips from the cage. We look at the winnings. Jay-Win, obviously the biggest winner. You see Aaron gets stuck a bunch on that hand. He and Josh the most stuck at the moment. That's the hand that makes or breaks your session, though.
Was it like 30K three-way or something? I mean, it was something insane. It was just an,
That club comes, then, and they're basically just in opposite positions on the chart. There.
for the rest, yeah. So, yeah, you made 30, 60 grand.
That reaction was not consistent.
You made a
with
lot.
what he said.
7, 8.
Like, what was his straddle on that? Like 50 or 100?
I thought it was something huge. Maybe not. I'd have to read it.
Got some more cards dealt out here.
It got to be, like, it got big.
He'll go a 3-betting position to like 800. So it could have been that. It could have been like 25, 50. But then the
TCH Live from Texas Card House in Austin. William Lottie, the New York Knit with you. Angel pressing the buttons. Jesse dealing the cards. Seth making the lineups. AJ with AJ making it 50.
No, it's not a raise. It's a position call.
Josh calling with a mystery hand, and Aaron with AQ. Probably going to raise over AJ. Already 100 in the middle. If you call pot, would be like 160-ish. I actually wouldn't hate all in. All in for 5 times pot would not be atrocious. The smaller sizing is also fine. He does make it 250.
We literally talked about that last night. We were like, somebody should just sell rice or noodles, like on the side. Like a little guy.
Sets it up to where stacks of pot will be 1 at most. AJ is going to call. Josh is going to call. Stacks of pot's going to be less than 1. Aaron could happily shove this flop if he likes it. And he may well like this flop, 6-4-3. Losing to some pocket pairs. But also having 2 overs if he is against the pocket pair. He does move all in. AJ is pipped and AJ is folding. We don't know what Josh has. I'm not sure that he scanned his cards. His cards are nowhere near the dot. And now they're even further from the dot. They're in the muck.
I mean, obviously I had 2. I guess not.
So just like that, Aaron picks up $500 and change.
Yeah, I figured you were just going to me off. I've been playing. Yeah.
Jay Wayne going to put out another straddle.
Bet you off.
Wow.
Marshall Jet Cooper, thanks for subscribing.
Not quite my board.
You want to find out when we're going to be on the air, hit subscribe, get those notifications turned on. AJ with AA makes it 50.
And that means if you build them to 10 points in the first half, your defense is playing great tonight.
Selman coming along with 8-6 of hearts. Jalen with some better hearts, the 10-9. Also coming along 3 ways to this flop. 10-8-5. Something for everyone here. AJ's got the overpair. Selman with the middle pair. J1 with the top pair. Back doors for the 2 of them as well.
Gamble, gamble.
AJ continues for 90 on a board where certainly players in the blinds could have something. Tillman calling with his pair plus back doors.
No, you need the jack queen as the front door.
J-Win having the same thought. Just like that, 422 in the middle. Go to this turn, still 3 ways. The 10's going to pair. J-Win with trips now. Out turning AJ. AJ not going to like that turn at all. Very easy for one of these guys to have top pair that just got there on him.
Standing in between them with big arms.
Jalen considering whether he might want to lead here. Does need some protection. Diamonds are available. Certainly a lot of straightening cards could come.
I'm a Vikings fan.
Jalen going to make it 250.
Better than being a Jets fan. Just to get much worse than that.
Yeah. At least you didn't say Lions fan. It's like, yeah, Lions beat us.
AJ can't go anywhere yet. Drawing to just 2 outs. He needs an ace and an ace alone. See if Jesse can find him one here.
Did the Lions beat the Bears last week? I didn't even know.
It is a 3. J-Win will crack the aces of AJ.
Lions hadn't won a game all season.
J-Win reaching for some betting chips. Gets snapped.
Well,
He'd made it 450. Half pot bet. AJ's got a call there. And gonna see that the aces were no good. Not after that turn.
I've lost with aces every time the past fucking aces and kings. I just always lose them. No matter what. I don't
Game
even
can
like
be
seeing
unkind
these.
sometimes.
I'm like, all right, what now? How am I gonna lose with them now? Like, it's all over it. It's fucking over it. Like,
Gonna step away for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. You keep watching. You don't go anywhere.
like without fail. I don't even like when I deal. I don't even get excited. I'm just like, fuck, what now? Maybe just raise ridiculous crazy. But I knew it too. It's just like I just have to fucking call it every time. It's just, you know,
I haven't run about it on the screen, but I mean, I play so much. She is, yeah, she's pregnant. Pregnant with our first kid.
is it yours?
I think it's me, but it could be someone else. They'll find out.
That just came out.
I'm sorry.
He's trying to get it for a discount.
You notice I said it after he won that. If he would have lost it, I ain't saying it.
That would be very hard to travel to Mexico to go on the W. That's gonna be very hard to travel.
Yeah, I was thinking more like in the fall. Like we're actually thinking about going to Vegas every time.
like no matter what. It's just so.
I've been, well, before tonight, I've been like on the
I'm thinking about going to Vegas in February.
2 weeks of my life.
I heard John Legend just announced he's
So
gonna be
now tonight I'm down, but it's like when I do the last 2 weeks, I'm on the hottest. Yeah, but I honestly think my life the hottest 2 weeks. Up 12 grand in 10 days.
Days you play.
4 of them,
Yeah.
and every time was just
3 days.
yeah. One was 1,500, 2 of them right at around 3K.
Her new one?
No, he doesn't jam free. Stillman jams,
You are a
but close. When he hits
Like,
on
the
flop,
first single was the only great
sets
song.
2 pairs.
I mean, I got
Flush,
that.
That's a beautiful song. Don't get me wrong.
even top.
Compared to like
Top sometimes.
Rolling Steve,
like those like forever
those
songs.
bangers.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, I did sit down and watch.
When he does it, it's really dry. I've seen it like twice in my life.
It's against
All the biggest
over there for me. That's $5. Yeah. Glad to scoop that $200. Yeah.
I love the Griffith boy. That's so beautiful up there. Overlooking all over Vanilla.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, you know what show? Yeah, that show.
Oh,
you saw it today.
I recorded that. I know the Griffith. We watched it together.
Hello again.
Yeah, so I went.
Hope I didn't miss too much. See, we apparently have a $60 straddle that Brian limped, and no, rather, Josh raised his $60, and then Brian called, and his king is better. It is still better. Now he has a cut shot.
He was headlining.
Josh is now going to fire at 100.
How much did you get paid show? 100,000.
No, I think he was gonna get like a couple mil.
Brian going to call 2 overs on a gut shot, and now top pair. The best top pair
It sucks that
among the 2 top pairs there are. Josh going to make it 200. Brian would certainly rather have gotten there with the 10 than with the king, which does complete a couple straights, but I'm not sure you can fold top pair after you've taken this line.
Like this stuff can draw for 10 years. There's depths involved. Like this stuff is going to draw out, and he's going to have to make a decision at some point, like whether it's going to pay up. But if you're the lawyer, you're not trying to
But there's an insurance company. I guarantee you it was insured.
Oh, for sure.
Brian does fold.
But the optic thing, you're going to have to settle. It's going to.
You wanted to know what the kicker was. You're like,
There wasn't.
And then Anheuser
Bored?
also dropped his line.
If you were the king as well, you were.
Look at these V-pips. And Josh is playing half the hands, which is another reason Brian really couldn't fold there. You play half the hands, you're not going to have it a lot, but he did fold.
Oh, live 40, live 40.
Live 40.
See, live 10, live 20, live 40. Aaron making it 125 with his ace-2 suited. Jay Wynn waking up with a better ace on the button is going to call the 125. We saw it work out for him the last time, flatting that ace-queen suited. Jeff with the king-10 off in the small blind is going to call. Not really the small blinds when you have 5 players behind you. You're just never in any kind of position.
How did you call it? Without even looking. Good lord.
4 ways to a flop, over 500 in the middle. We are playing 2-5, right? 10-7-4. Jeff with top pair. 2 spades on the board. 2 players with 1 spade. We check through. 5 of clubs will give Aaron the steel wheel draw. Josh has a gut shot to go along with his pair of 4s. He makes it 300.
Range smashiness.
Continues.
Aaron going to call. His ace is also good. Jeff gonna rip it in. Pair of tens, king kicker. A jillion draws available. He's gonna rip it in. Makes it 1,800. Josh with just bottom pair gonna fold. And Aaron, another 1,500 into a pot that's gonna be almost 4,500. We see he actually just slightly has the right odds to call here. He needs to be right about a third of the time. And he folds.
I can beat a stone cold bluff in that much.
Jeff denying Aaron that equity.
Straight draw.
500. What was it? Tens?
I can
Player
see some
six, live
ace
stream.
10 clubs. Top with the.
Again, thank you all for being here this evening. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this show. Be sure to watch us again Saturday night. Tournament final table from Dallas.
I think you had my one pair beat though. Oh yeah.
Here in Austin, check out our quads of the day. Today it's quad threes. Get the quads, have a pocket pair, have 10 big blinds in the middle.
I flopped the pair.
Full rules at TexasCardHouse.com.
Got it?
Don't forget Ladies Night, half off on Fridays for the ladies. The early bird play for free between 10 a.m. 12 p.m. Be sure to check out our weekly tournaments here.
Would not buy four. I had a higher straight draw.
Every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. See a limp from Jeff with the king three suited in the cutoff. Dave making it 30. Getting a lot of callers. 5 ways to the flop. 8-4-3, couple of diamonds. We see a pair of threes for Josh and Jeff. And we see a pair of sixes for AJ. He had pocket sixes. And that is the best at the moment. Josh makes it 75 with his 10-3.
My range.
Dave with ace-jack, 2 overs, no diamonds.
You also laid it down to my over pair of queens. I don't know, queens.
Might be an ambitious float. Does fold. As does Johnny's queen jack. AJ sticking around with those sixes. He does have the back doors. And turns one of those back doors with the 7. Goes check, check. Deuce on the river. The sixes will be best if it gets the showdown. AJ making it $180. Little under 2/3 pot. Josh with 4th pair. Josh going to make the call, going to get the bad news that he can't even beat 3rd pair. Ragnar Orby was wondering what the Friday tournament here is at TCH Austin. It's the PLO free roll, guaranteed $1,000 to first place. $20 access fee. Rebuys for $20. You get the first stack free. Rebuy stacks for $20. And then all the details there at TexasCardHouse.com. You can also check out TCH Austin and every TCH location on Poker Atlas. Use that to get on the list as well for our cash games. The tournament is at 7 p.m. Central Time.
And another one.
Wednesday night, it's a no limit hold'em free roll, $1,000 guaranteed up top. Saturday, I think it's earlier. I think it's at 4 o'clock. It's the second chance tournament. It's a no limit hold'em tournament, $3,000 guaranteed to first. You get either one rebuy or one re-entry in that tournament. Jalen making it 15 with the king-6 of clubs. Gets 3-bet by the better clubs of AJ. The ace-10.
You don't keep up with the cheetah unless you're holding them.
Jalen gonna go for the bluff here. Gonna 4-bet it up to 250. AJ gonna call out of position.
I don't think your problem is
His pot has suddenly escalated.
He's a solid starter in the NFL.
10-4 deuce is gonna give AJ top pair, top kicker. And backdoor clubs. Jalen gonna continue in this 4-bet pot.
Bridgewater, Keenum.
Looks like he made it 200. Gets the call from AJ.
As a fan base, we
Jalen's gonna turn himself second pair now with the 6.
When he came over at the time, you had killer defense. You had Diggs
AJ checks again.
and one other decent wide receiver, I believe.
See if Jalen decides to fire again. Given the way this pot's gone,
Diggs was our big one.
you're probably not that confident in a pair of 6s. He does check it back. Queen on the river. AJ's ace-10 the best if it gets the showdown.
But now, man,
But that queen could have helped Jalen, who does decide to give up. Goes check, check.
you know, the cook,
And
injury.
AJ gonna collect this pot.
Cook's not reliable to be a cornerstone for a franchise.
Jalen perhaps thinking he could be like an ace-king, ace-jack type of a holding.
15.
Thank y'all for the tip. Y'all have Josh coming in.
So likely to have a do or change happening here. Does mean one more single board kilo bomb pot. $10 ante. Get another look at these winnings. Very quick look at these winnings.
But you get a different share than the rest.
Josh is stepping into the box.
Ours are nice. I'm gonna limit my vocabulary to pot and forms.
You don't know if it's PZR or not?
Not even the half time.
I see 200 likes exactly as we hit power hour here.
So you either have 5.8 points or you have 11 points.
Thank you all who have hit like already. Thanks in advance to those of you who have yet to hit the like button but are going to in the future, whether you're watching live or on the replay.
Same thing with this poker game. He doesn't come on the card.
If you ever craving some TCH content, you can look at all of our past shows. We got hundreds of them on our TCH Live YouTube channel. There's also the Best TCH Poker Hands channel, as well as a few others. Like we got a few podcasts,
Potted it blind.
Inside TCH Live, From the Felt, and the Next Gen Show.
Let's make the action.
Give those all a look.
It's actually, he just learned that.
Queen 10-6 Rainbow. Got shot for Josh. Who pots it? Brian with middle pair.
It's basically like a bump.
Couple of non-nut draws. He's also calling. Aaron with a queen
Agree to
is
disagree.
going to fold. Not a lot of backup with that queen. Jay-Win with the ace-king gut shot, gonna call. And a couple of backdoor flush draws. Dave calling with the mystery hands. AJ, King Jack 9-3. He's got a wrap.
Here's the great thing. I still have no
He's going to call.
It's such a big pot.
He's got a lot of outs to a straight.
Right?
We should go blind again.
should just-
And then Mexican split.
Oh,
5 ways to this turn. 6 of diamonds. Brian has 6s full of 10s. So he had the 2 pair. He did turn the bottom boat. Of the hands we know about, those hands are drawing dead. We don't know what Dave has. We check through.
You're looking at me like.
The 10's going to pair it. It's going to bring in the diamonds, but on a double paired board, you really don't love the flush. Jalen does have the ace-high flush. Brian sitting here with an armada. 10s full of 6s full of 10s. See a lot of checking. Dave gonna check. AJ gonna give up. I got a flush. I got a flush. I got a boat.
Slow player. Slow player.
Brian taking it down with the boat or boats. He's got 2 boats. One was plenty though.
I had an ace king in my hand. I had the jack for broad.
I was like, please check, please check, please check. When you check, I was like, my flush might get through.
I wanted it.
Let's see. One more gamble for me tonight.
Like a flush might actually be it.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, AJ, just check back.
You did is check.
Yeah, Gary, you're on a downswing, it seems. That's unfortunate. As am I. I lost. Season 2, 5, 10, 20. Gary C. now paraphrasing Bill O'Reilly. Jalen with kings makes it 75. And nobody has anything that can give him action. So Jalen just going to steal some blinds.
It's the future of the AFC, especially if Buffalo doesn't stay the course.
Now, just ace queen suited for Jay-Win. Living the great life tonight. Jeff has pocket eights, which he's seen fit to 3 bets at 125. Brian cold calling the small blind with the queen 10 suited. Back to Jay-Win. Certainly not going to fold. Does he 4-bet or does he call? The way he's played tonight, both are possibilities. I think these are 4-betting chips. These are 4-betting chips. Makes it 600. which could well shut this down. Certainly you don't mind if he folds a pair, especially when he has position on you. He does fold a pair. Brian is dominated. And he'd be smart to fold. He is going to fold. Queen 10 likely in a lot of trouble given that action. We move right along. Power Hour living up to its name so far. Lots of chips getting in the middle.
It's not that part of the evening. It's not that part of the evening yet.
2, 5, 10, 20.
Shoving on me? I just got your chicken broth, my guy. How many guys in this past year got you chicken broth? Probably not more than one.
Big bags. Big bags. You're raising my pocket there.
AJ with the Jack 8 of diamonds, making it 105. I believe there were a couple of decisions that I made differently because I know AJ likes to go big, and he likes to go big on later streets, and Jeff does defend his straddle with the ace-10 offsuit. Something for everyone, and this ace-king-7, Jeff's got top pair, AJ's got the diamond draw. Second nut diamonds. Continues for 80. Jeff does have top pair. And Jeff goes for the check raise up to 250. Diamond's going absolutely nowhere, I would imagine, especially with so much behind. AJ does call. So the turn we go. Another ace. Jeff has trips now. Makes it 350. AJ gives up now. Two pair holdings just filled. Man, this check gamble's not paying out tonight.
Pretty much everything. But mine is like really mild. Like, I don't take that.
I think somebody accidentally flipped the doom switch. Looks like it's just 2-5 this hand. Just 2-5.
I feel it now.
Johnny making it 20 with the queen jack off. Josh playing a lot of hands. Decides to call, and Aaron with the 9 triz suited.
There's a 9-3 of hearts game going on right now. So.
Aaron, I think, has folded and holded, or held. Words are hards, as he would say. He's gone the fold and hold route. Perhaps they put on some sort of 9 triz game. Or a side bet. Those players who still have hands, and Johnny's got the best of it with the jack. Trying to get him to make it 40.
I let him off the hook early. I let him off the hook early. James, free information.
Jalen just has back doors.
Oh, I don't even know he doesn't have hearts.
I don't think the 3 would be an action card anyway. So.
You're on a heart draw.
AJ, good call.
I get him some bad.
Jalen does fold.
I should go get the peanut butter whiskey.
So he straddles, we get this hand. 2, 5, 10.
That sounds, I don't know.
It does. But I just got it as a gift before I got here tonight.
There's the going in mint tastes pretty good. I like how Josh
I see AJ attempting to put out. There we go. 20, 40.
Live 80.
Is it on?
Live 80 on.
Josh puts on the live 80.
Oh, I love this.
2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80. I love this game. This is the best.
Yeah, we're just balls deep in the power hour.
Bill on 9, please.
Where else are you going to see this action? If only we could get some action cards. Folds all the way to the $40 straddle of AJ with the king queen. Josh has king jack. He's pipped, but he's going to be feeling great in what is essentially a blind versus blind scenario. Josh is going to pile it in. Josh is all in.
I'll let you look at either one.
Wow. Take it, AJ.
First, can I see how much it is in the
For him, this is the nuts, but
It's like
AJ
15.
hasn't pipped. He's going to get a count. A shove of essentially 20 big blinds with this $80 straddle on.
All right, let's see one of yours.
This is a call. This guy's insane.
Oh, man.
have to, like,
And AJ does, in fact, make the call. Josh had showed one. I think that was the king that he showed. There's a jack. Jack 9-3. There is a gut shot. Queen or a 10 for AJ. Does not get it. Josh is going to double up
I'm not gonna lie. Only Josh would do that.
with the suck out.
I have to call after I see the king. It's so sick.
With the pre-celebration, I was like, Josh, 10 might come out.
It might. But I'm so happy that that happened.
Variance is going to go Josh's way.
That's nasty.
Like, I fucking have to call there.
You do.
Like, AJ?
Hey,
That's a
let's
fine
talk
call,
into
especially
Live
against the
80.
loose opponent. It just didn't work out this time. And we'll see
All the
dealer
time
Josh
except that one.
deliver the pot to player Josh. Wow. The things that happen in these
That was gross.
mega straddle pots. That's just a setup, plain and simple. I mean, if we're playing legitimate 20 big blind poker, that's a legitimate way for that hand to go down.
I think that's way better than 80-20.
God, how bad can I run? Like 85, 15?
I don't know.
5 cards for Jet, yeah.
You got 3 live cards.
And on the flop, Bink.
I'm going to play some 2, 5, 10. Just 2, 5, 10 maybe. AJ's like, okay, I think I've paid enough for this one orbit.
So sick.
Yeah, but for a straddle,
Josh not going to let it ride.
man, woke up with a decent hand. I
Support
gotta do
gods, support
something.
gods do always reward those who put money in a pot.
Hey, I was in the 40. I'm no fucking chump. I was
No,
in the
no.
40.
By no means, though, by no means. But Josh has been buying Cornwall all night.
Well, yeah. I've been paying for at least
Aaron going to 40 with the 5 deuce, getting 2 callers.
do 7, 6,
You raise the
9.
five.
Someone's Jack 10 offsuit, the best hand at the moment.
Without the 7 deuce game on.
You, he comes
Tillman flopping an open ender. And his opponent's flopping not much. Aaron's got bottom pair. Johnny's got absolute butt kiss.
You turn flush over flush. Ugh. That the first thing that happened.
Tillman continuing for 75. Don't think Aaron played the 5 deuce to fold a pair, and he does call.
I didn't want to do a, you know, like a eggplant. Make it weird.
Now the queen's going to pair on the turn. Aaron will probably feel a little bit better, less likely to be against top pair, with there being one less queen available. Tillman continuing for 125 with his draw. Aaron calling once more. To the river we go. Tillman gets there with the king. He's got the king high straight. Now Tillman just checks it back. It goes check, check. Does not go for the value. Don't know that he was getting any value anyway. Someone going to take this down, and the bad night's going to continue for our friends AA Ron, unfortunately. Him and Josh and AJ all stuck. J1 Brian and Tillman the biggest winners right now.
Live 40 and live 80.
Jedi Master Ted approves of the way the audio is set up between the table and my microphone. I'm glad you approve. I'm glad you're liking the audio. It's always tricky business. And yeah, production, whatever we did with the audio, let's always do this, please. Because it's good. Allegedly.
I'm really interested to hear the commentary on
If people want to dispute what Ted says, feel free to in the chat.
King, Queen, King, Jack.
But I believe
Players
you.
checks, live stream.
And Tillman now picking up the 2 biggest cards in the deck, the Ace of Spades, Ace of Hearts.
I think commentary is so much better.
Jeff has a suited connector.
Figure out 2 people in there. All right.
We just saw a 9 triz go away.
It's only 2 more
Johnny,
chips.
the non-believer. Josh, the believer in the Jack 6 suited.
I checked our.
Tillman with top set, but unlikely to get much value. Nobody flopping anything. He checks it over to Jeff, who decides to put in the bet. Tillman just rips it immediately. A giant overshove.
He doesn't make 125 with 9 threes straight.
Everyone says that they hear me and they hear the table. That's great. That's what we're going for.
We'll see it.
And if I hear the table and it sounds good, I'll shut up usually and let you all hear what these players are saying, because they're the real stars.
Tillman.
They're the ones putting out the 2, 5, 10, 20, 40. I'm not the one doing that. They're trying to go Tillman into straddling. Aaron attempted to straddle a significant number of black chips there.
9-3.
Tillman would not have been rewarded with that
I
straddle.
wish I had 9-3.
HA limping the 6s. This is showing as a 35. Okay. Brian with the 10-9 suited. Aaron's got an ace. Josh very dominated. Aaron with top pair. Flop is not scanned in yet. There we go. Aaron with top pair. Everybody else in a world of trouble. Aaron making it 100. Josh and Brian both calling with some back doors. I guess Josh has the gutter. Brian with just back doors. And that's not one of them. Checks over to Aaron. Aaron going 325, gets the quick folds. And stacking some chips here. And if you're going to be anywhere near Houston this weekend, be sure and join us for the Poker Atlas Payday Tournament, $250,000 guaranteed. TCH Houston. I'll be out there Saturday. Hopefully Sunday. Hopefully I find myself a bag.
Live all in available.
Rejecting live all in.
And join us on Saturday for the TCH Dallas Tournament final table. Tournament gets bigger every week. That card flashed. That's a King of Hearts. There we go. King of Hearts not coming. 2, 5, 10, 20, 40. That Tillman's immediately regretting after the King flashes. Does get a replacement card. That King of Hearts will be the burn card. No big deal.
I'm not paying that one out. Odds of it are higher now that there are only 51 cards.
We all have a better chance.
Should only be like a $99 payment now.
Another pocket pair for AJ. You got the 4s. Gonna limp. Just calling the $40. Josh with the suited connector on the big blind, the 7-6 of hearts. Gonna call that, and that's legitimate holding. Aaron limping in, Tillman getting a free look at his 10-4 of hearts. AJ can have a hard time hitting his set here. Just think that could have been a King of Hearts in Tillman's hands. Jack 8-6 wouldn't have made a ton of difference. Josh's pair of 6 is the best hands at the moment. You see some back doors. Oh, results oriented, it was no big deal. Peyton. Josh does take it down. That would have been the outcome regardless. And definitely subscribe, have notifications turned on, find out anytime we're going to be on air. Next couple weeks might be a little bit different with the Christmas and New Year's holidays happening. This will be the last time you hear me live this year. But I'll be back with you in January. We'll have some more fun, for sure, here on TCH Live. Might drop by the chat during one of our live shows next couple of weeks. Josh with the skinny, the dirty diaper, the 3-deuce makes it 100. And the small blind, Brian Kwong with the ace-jack. Jalen with the 9-6. All the fun hands.
All right, who needs something? Doug, what do you need? AJ? Josh? Brian, you need something? No, I'm just thinking.
I've been reaching all of everything's, so.
Jalen gonna think the better of it. Heads up to the flop. Jack Knight 6, Jalen would have flopped 2 pair. Brian with top pair, top kicker would have been good for some action. Very likely.
6-9 diamonds back to back was.
Brian continues for 150.
Alright, I'll give it to you.
Josh, gonna say, just kidding.
Favorite. Here's the thing. The number
gonna
of times
show.
that I've like played that
Interesting thought if I was in.
more strong.
These V-pips, Josh still playing half the hands.
It pays out so much.
Even the lowest V-pip is 21%.
Fold or
Pretty active table tonight.
just hit like a random straight or a random two pair or a random like something stupid that people can't put me on. I made a lot of money off this. Like that's the one hand, and it's only I'll do it. I'll play it big and like 3-4 bit of 6-9 diamonds or hearts. Those are the two
Smash that too, big time.
just the red ones.
That's 800
But
bucks. Almost.
6-9 suited diamonds both times. Yeah, fuck up on both of them.
That's 200 bucks. Yeah.
Looks like another
Back to back.
2, 5, 10, 20, 40 hands.
This happened.
Got about 20 minutes to go this evening.
Please try. Because this is where I wake up with hands like this. Whoop, whoop.
Those of you still here, let us know where you're watching from.
Last time I had this,
Haven't done
I
that in a
flopped
while.
quads. Ask Tillman.
Falls to Josh, who limps the ace-8 suited. Brian with Doyle, the 10-2 suited.
You made 2 quads. That's pretty strong.
Hey, I know that hands. Some fun memories with that hands.
Did like
Like
175,
3.
He makes it
I like
150.
4 bet.
yeah, like
Deuce 7.
And Jeff's going to have ace-queen,
Yep. Flop comes 7-7-7.
so he'll probably have something to say about that.
and then he laughed.
He'll have $500 to say about that.
That's why you raised with 7.
Well, when they flop it, and no action, and I'm under the gun, I'm like, I bet like 200.
But nobody knew if you could believe him or not. Like people.
Josh is going to call.
Actually have 7 deuces there, except Josh.
Well, exactly. I don't have 7 deuce here.
Well,
Maybe.
I don't.
Most likely.
Don't maybe.
Brian going to have the open casket card funeral,
The punchline was,
All right.
showing half the table what he folded. Heads up to this flop. Jeff is well ahead of Josh.
Down 3-9 hearts.
Going to this flop, over 1,000's in the middle. 10-7-4. Josh with the nut heart draw. And the equity advantage. Jeff going to continue for 500 with his ace-queen high. Josh came this far. I don't think he's folding. He may even just decide to go for it here. He may just go all in, which would be a pretty reasonable move when he gets to this point, and that's exactly what he does. He's going to go all in,
All in.
and Jeff now going to have to release the ace-queen $1,000 later.
Card down.
Not 3.
Let's see, Squirrel says, I know where. I assume it's someplace down under, as some people like to say. San Marcos, hey, that's not that far from here.
Oh, yes.
Bozeman, Montana.
Actually,
I've driven through Montana once. That's as much as I've been in Montana.
oh, ace high.
Stopped in a place called Missoula. Guess the university's there.
Man, I won $1,000 ace high.
Of course, I'm sitting here in Austin, Texas. So this time next week, I'll be back in New York for the holidays. Jelly Master Ted, glad that you're enjoying the shade that I've thrown on Lex O Poker. It's all in good fun. Don't know how I got away with that. Looks like Josh is counting down the stub, just making sure we got 52 cards.
What does your shirt say? Today's forecast.
Quads.
Pretty common to see this happen when you sit at a live table, like dealers periodically will check that there are in fact exactly 52 cards in the deck.
Hey, what's the forecast? If she'll send it.
Looks all good.
All about the
Got a viewer from Omaha.
I'm like 2 all-ins away from getting unstuck.
Sippy Man's in DC.
I I should make that.
But yeah, like I'm serious. Like I will happily play Lex heads up if he thinks I'm a mega nit and that he can beat me. Like, I'd be happy to make that happen sometime. And share it with the internet, obviously.
Yeah.
You in on? Oh, I mean.
That was an example of one of those hands where something weird happens in live poker and then just a lot of weird stuff happens after that. Like there was the misclick with the jacks, which they meant to raise clearly, but they didn't raise because of the oversized chip rule, which is how that happened. And then there was the silly VPIP game that provoked the whole thing. We see AJ with the ace-king suited making it 80 in a multiple straddle pot. Jeff with the queen jack of diamonds defending that straddle. And Jeff gonna flop the diamond flush. Do not adjust your set. That camera was fuzzy. Sorry about that. AJ drawing completely dead on this flop. Jeff gonna check it over. AJ will continue for 100. Music to Jeff's ears. Jeff just calls. Gonna give AJ the chance to fire again. See if AJ bites. He does bite. Bites pretty hard. I think he bit to the tune of about 375, which would be the size of the pot. Now, Jeff's choice here is, does he want to move all in for pot, or does he want to just flat? Does he want to raise to some other size? He makes it $1,000, which would be pretty committing. Now AJ is going to know the jig is up, and Jeff's going to show that he flabbed it. Ragnar Overby, I'm not that old, but hey, I'm reasonably well read, and I've heard that phrase. Yeah, I don't think anybody's watching YouTube with bunny ears, but hey, maybe your Wi-Fi is like crappy and you need to adjust the Wi-Fi antenna, and that's why you're getting a poor resolution. But no, it's because our camera's jacked up. Ted, I'm a little bit older than 31. Not that much older, but yeah, so that's how I'm gonna justify that phrase still. I mean, you've somehow made your Wi-Fi to where you got fewer bits and you got fewer pixels, and then you've got to adjust your set that way. So, I saved it. She went making it 80 with the Jack 10 offsuit. And so I believe he's going to get any takers here. Maybe Dave defends his straddle with the suited king. Hey, not every hand can be a $5,000 pot.
Hey, yeah.
Let's see if he had any pressure.
He does defend the straddle.
That was fine.
That was a
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't the quarterback.
And let's get that flop
He just made the
scan.
blanket statement that's a horrible quarterback.
Well, 'cause I
But
knew
the
that
8-5-4
throw did
rainbow.
not involve the quarterback.
Not much for anybody here. Dave's king high the best.
I don't think he's that good. You want one Super Bowl versus Tom Brady. To win one Super Bowl. You want one of them. Who's that?
Wait, you'll say, wait.
Ooh, I like this.
That was check, and Jay win now with a pair of tens. Dave needs a king. Dave does not get a king.
Yeah,
already won.
J1's going to be best at showdown. J1 continuing to live the good life tonight. Not going to get any value though, I don't think. I stand corrected. I what was that green chip? That might have been J1's chip. From out there, I thought he got called by King High.
Strong prescription, like face on face, they don't look that bad. I was looking at the eyes. It's like, whoa.
I mean, you could call with King High in some spots, but not sure this is one of them.
I did
Not a lot of air balls that J1 could have there.
got back when it started. Oh yeah, no, I got it back in 06, 7? No, 7 or 8.
I think it's
07, 08. And yeah, no, I've been super happy. I didn't have a super strong.
I think that was a, yeah, I think they finally folded and then J1's going to get that pot. Jedi Master Ted points out that the 300 legs poll had more votes than we actually have legs. But you know what? In all fairness, some of those votes were for no. And I'm guessing that they tried to prove their point by not pressing like, which is disappointing. I do hope that you all enjoy this enough that you do hit the like button and the subscribe button. Very happy to have you all here as we close in the end of you know what I mean. It's been 4 hours. You know what I mean. We're approaching the end of the show. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like halos when they drive, and nighttime vision. I've had zero issues.
The BMW halos blind you, bro.
Well,
See,
yeah.
Josh calls 10. Brian calls 10. Dirty Tiger of his own.
I don't think that is.
Tillman comes along. Dave comes along. Four-way limps pot. And Dave's bottom pair will easily be the best hand. See if he actually gets to win the pot. Get a 3 on the turn, so now we do see a pair for Brian, and we do see gut shot for Josh rather, and yeah, that's what we got.
He would not have landed in
Three pros and slide. He was like, he didn't want to be. Yeah, and then he kept going. That was great. That was amazing.
Josh makes it 30 and gets calls from Brian and Dave, who actually have pairs. Speaking of pairs, the ace is going to pair and complete the backdoor hearts. Dave's 9 is best if it gets the showdown. Josh is going to fire again. Brian with pair of 3s, no kicker, gonna fold. Dave's closing the action. He could consider bluff catching a player who's playing half the hands.
I can't do the. I'll show you one after this time. Sorry.
Especially with a few ace combos gone now. With that ace river.
No. Does a 9 beat you right now? No, a 9 doesn't beat you.
The 9 doesn't beat you. Is that what you said?
I did say that.
Oh, okay. I just want a clarification for myself.
I
couldn't hear.
It might have been a lie.
No, I get that. I just couldn't hear the words that you said. Words are hard.
Your words are hard.
The words
They're hard. All right, you can have it.
Josh is
Show him the little card.
knocking his cards. I believe he got called. I see Skullbone says that that he was at an office Christmas party and got drunk. I was at an office Christmas party today. I did not get drunk. But I was at an office Christmas party of my own. It's that time of the year.
You got the 40 on?
40.
So,
No.
so if you got a read on me,
Josh,
2, 5, 10, 20.
yes,
Yeah,
my
I was
40.
like,
Damn right.
He's a 40 as well. 2, 5, 10, 20, 40.
I said I was drinking. Whoever does the highlight videos for this episode, they should just do all of Josh's hands. that was
The deuce 7.
all of them.
Back to back 6 9s.
No.
Brian
Six,
calls
nine
the 40.
diamonds back to back.
Jack 9 offsuit. Someone with the 9, 6.
6 9 diamonds.
He calls.
Suited.
Jay Wynn with the 6 deuce suited is going to call. Everyone's in the calling mood, but Jeff's probably going to be in a raising mood. He does have the ace
I had
king
within
offsuit.
4 hands. I had the 3 hearts 9 of diamonds. 1 off.
He does raise. He raises to 175. Get some folds.
75.
And some folds. Wouldn't be surprised if this just clears out the field. This has Jay Wynn to get through, who has the 6 deuce suited and decides to be generous with the chips and take a flop here.
Right after the stream was done, Josh tripled up and was up 10 grand.
Jack 5, 5. Ace King High still the best.
Okay, let's just get back to unstuck. That's fair, that's fair.
Jeff continues for 150.
Up 10 grand is a little.
Jay Wynn has nothing.
Oh, hey,
Gonna make a show of it.
let's just wait till we get some,
So you
this
think
stream's
of
over,
something
get some
devious
double
here.
or bump pots going on.
Nope, he's gonna fold.
It cost me $40. The only reason I played that is I had 6 9
Yeah, so these chip counts again. I need Jay Wynn playing super deep.
I mean,
Ragnar Rovi, glad you're enjoying this. Says players at TCH Austin seems to be having more fun. I'll tell you what, this Thursday 2-5 game might have the smallest stacks of all of our shows, but I think we have the most fun on this show. And poker is a game; it should be fun. And glad you guys think it's a fun game. I think it's a fun game. Like pretty much every week I get in this game, or when I would before I'd be doing this commentary. Like, it would be a blast. And it's a blast back here as well. I'm going to commentate this game, this 2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 80. And this will be the last hand, so I think we're going to go out with a bang. I hope we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to find out. Angel with an excellent poker face. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, Blueber's check. You're right. Fold is.
is that all live down there?
We're into the straddles. Nobody's really woken up with much yet. Josh is going to put some chips in. Going to call the 60 with his king deuce offsuit. Brian's got the queen 7.
Even if not the white ball combination.
If I was gutsy enough to call it, I would have won.
7-4 for Aaron. Going to check his option. Going to get a free flop heads up. The craziest player at the table against the least lucky player at the table.
My range.
Hey, Ryan.
8-3 deuce will give Josh bottom pair and the best hands at the moment. Aaron's got overs. Aaron's got backdoors. As he's facing an $80 bet.
I only have 1 pair.
But I was like, all right, if you don't pair up, I can be super live. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm out of there.
Aaron thinking about this. Aaron's going to call, and we're going to get a turn.
I lied. I got 2 pairs.
Queen on the turn is not going to help Aaron's cause. He's going to need a 7 or a 4. Check, check. What do you know? Aaron's got a 4. See if he can get value from that deuce. $250 from Josh. Aaron would be crazy not to call. He's going to call. He's going to collect the final pot of the night. So, thank you all for watching. Been really great being along for the ride with you these past like 5 or 6 months I've been doing commentary, and hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's holiday season, and I'll see you back in January. But keep it tuned to TCH Live. We got lots of content for you between now and then. I'm just not part of it. So for now, on behalf of all of our dealers, producers Seth and Angel, I'm Willie Malati, aka the New York Knit, wishing you a wonderful night, wonderful holiday season. Thanks for watching.